All right. You good? You okay?
No.
You dying? Oh, no. That was the thing where you're like, are you okay? And you're yeah. And then we continue. And then you're like, no.
Sorry.
Welcome back to We Stayed Late. Today we're playing Icarus.
Icarus.
This is the game that goes live today. For those who are listening and watching on the day that this goes live, on the day that this podcast goes live, the game is also going live on Kickstarter by Hunters Entertainment. It is a game that I designed and that was bought and that is going to go to stores, and I'm really excited, and it's gonna be crazy. Okay, so we're gonna get into it because it's sort of a long game sometimes, but it doesn't have to be because we might just mess up the tower and it might just fall. So it could
Which
be
is very likely.
game.
I had to practice getting up out of my seat so I wouldn't knock the table.
So we just have the prototype here because it hasn't been it's not like production quality yet. But nonetheless, we have lots of cool things. We're just using regular D6, but there will be custom D6 that will be made for it.
There's just dice.
The dice.
It's just dice.
Very cool looking dice.
Yeah,
these are emerald colors with gold.
Yeah,
dots.
they're like a clear emerald, and they have gold pips.
Smoky.
So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set up this deck. But while I do that, Luis, do you want to read the thing called the game on these directions? It's just a piece of paper with some stuff on it.
The game.
I was gonna say use like the voice.
The game. Oh, this is a long paragraph to use the voice. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you the game. Now, Icarus is a collaborative storytelling game about the fall of a great civilization. Every game begins in a city nation known as Icarus, at the height of its power, where, in celebration, the city has decided to erect a massive, ever-growing monument in the center of town to display its prestige to the world. Each of you will choose a pillar of the society to embody and receive a motive for the character you're playing. Now, during the game, you'll be stacking dice to represent the construction of this monument, drawing cards from a story deck to create the escalating events in the city, and influencing the outcome of those events through actions driven by your character's motives. Now, you'll collaboratively discover what it means for a civilization to decay, as they all do with time. And when the monument finally falls, your civilization falls with it, and the game comes to an end.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So, for those who are watching on the YouTube channel, by the way, go subscribe. YouTube.com/We Stayed Late. For those of you who are watching, you can see a bunch of decks on the table. I am building the story deck. So in order to do that, I take the black card, the bitter end card, and I put that on the table. And then I take some of the other cards and I lay them on top to build the story deck that we'll be using to tell our story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going here. So we don't use all of the cards for the story deck, and you might not get to all the cards in the story deck. So you'll be able to play multiple times and not get the the same prompts every time, which is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is done, and then the rest are going back into the box.
Sorry guys, I keep sniffling. I think the
garage
cold,
has attacked you.
It's like the cold, and I didn't take my allergy medicine today, so I'm like, oh, everything's like hitting me at once.
I've just discovered allergies now that my nose has been cleared out.
Right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, the air in Los Angeles is garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 5 what are called pillars of society on the table.
Beautiful.
Or sorry, not 5 of them. There are 3 of us, so we're gonna put 4.
Oh. It's these, right?
No, Pillars of Society are the cards with the pillars on the back.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna put those on the table. And that one is health, architecture, safety, and religion.
Religion.
I'm gonna put the rest of it.
Okay. Are we allowed to pick?
Yeah. So choose whichever one you're most interested in.
I'm gonna pick safety.
Okay.
Do I need to read what's on here, or do I
no,
wait?
yeah, you can just hold it.
Okay, I am safety.
I'm gonna pick architecture.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hopefully, Kelly's like things that she's told me over the years will come into my brain.
You can read the questions, and those are the things that you'll be. That's like the strength of the weakness that you'll be focusing on.
Okay.
During the game, and then I'm gonna choose. I have health and religion, and they're both good. You know what? I'm gonna choose religion.
Whoa.
And then I'm gonna leave health for the center of the table. This is gonna
Okay.
be the purpose of our monument.
Oh.
So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to hand out motive cards. These are randomly distributed.
So this is what I'm focusing on.
Can I look at
Safety,
this?
Yes.
Right? This card I'm working on. This is
Yes.
where my focus is.
Yeah, that's what you're focused on.
I'm going to focus on safety, and now I have my motivation.
Yeah, so you can flip those over.
Oh, God damn.
What did you get?
I got... No, I think I got the one that I got last time.
Oh, you want a different one? Since you have
Yeah,
that
can I
one
get a
last
different
time?
one?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh, what did you get this time? Did you get...
Okay, I'm not going to say.
No, you
No,
gotta
I have
say.
to
We
say
have
it.
to say.
I have to show you?
Yeah, so you can play with motives face up or
Okay.
face down, but my personal preference for motives is
Yes.
to put them face up.
Okay.
Because we're telling a story together, so it's important that
Okay.
we all understand how the
I was like, well,
story
what
is
if you
going
get
to
like
come
an
together.
evil motive?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I got an evil motive. I'm safety, but I want to bring down Icarus.
Oh no! Why?
Yeah. My other one that I got was Get Rich, but I already played that one, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I want to try something new. But
Yeah.
Bring down.
God damn! You're like
Icarus.
anarchy.
Oh,
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is go ahead and read the strength and weakness questions on your pillar that you have. One of us is gonna have to choose our pillar to be a weakness. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing if your thing is the weakness, because usually a lot of the story is driven around that weakness.
Okay.
So if it's something that you think is interesting and could make the story that we tell interesting, then let me know. Otherwise, the religion weakness is one of my favorites, and we can do that one.
Perfect.
Does anybody have a weakness that they want to share that they think would
This
be
one
cool?
says the buildings within Icarus have started to deteriorate. What weak or unsustainable material was used to build here, and why?
What's yours?
Mine says the people of Icarus all share a common fear. What is it, and where did it come from?
Ooh, that's a really
Oh shit!
that one's sort of
It's pretty good.
yeah. In order to keep people in line, the city of Icarus has created a religion to convince people to follow scripture they control. What is the core tenet of the religion, and how does it manifest itself within the city? So those are our options for weaknesses.
I kind of vote for this one.
I think that
I'm
one's
on like the
really
fear.
interesting.
yes.
Okay, so safety. I'm gonna give you all pencils.
Oh.
Thank you.
And by all I mean 3.
Papermate. Number 2.
So the first thing that you're gonna do is answer your strength question. And you're also
How?
going,
Okay, so side
you're
question.
gonna answer your weakness question, Luis.
Okay.
But we're gonna answer our strength question.
Okay.
Side question. How
Sure.
silly are we playing this?
I mean, I think the game tends to be sort of serious.
Okay.
So I think that
That's why I'm asking. I'm like,
Tonally-
how is the 3 of us playing this game?
so the thing is, like, I usually play it serious, and we usually end up laughing a whole lot because
Right.
we play it serious.
Okay.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big X on the table. It shouldn't be a problem with this group, but I always put an X on the table. It's called the X card. If there's anything in the game that we feel uncomfortable with, or that feels against tone or something, we can always just you can just say X card, or you can tap the little X here, and we'll take that out of the game and put something else in. So if you're like, I don't like spiders, you can tap the X card and
Right.
we'll get
Okay.
rid of the spider. So the 2 things that you're going to do right now, you're going to answer, the 2 of us, Star, we're going to answer our strength. And Luis, you're going to answer your weakness.
Do we say
question.
what our strength questions are?
Yeah, let's go ahead and read both of ours.
All right. So my strength question for architecture is: the buildings within Icarus look like no other place on the planet. Why is this, and how does it affect the way people perceive the city?
Mine is spirituality plays a major part in the everyday lives of the people of Icarus. Sorry, hold on. Who or what do they believe in, and what phrase, symbol, or other physical manifestation do they use to express that belief? So those are our strengths. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to build your character based off of your pillar and off of your motive. So I'm also going to hand you another sticky note.
Oh.
And you're going to make a character. It's just loosely based on your pillar, so like you don't have to be an architect. You can just be somebody who's involved with the look and feel of the city.
Okay.
For me, it's like I'm probably gonna be somebody that has to do with religion in some way, but doesn't necessarily have to be a religious leader. Although that tends to be what religion spurs. Luis, I'm gonna hand you 2.
And then do we? I'm sorry if I'm jumping the gun.
That's okay.
Do we pick what type of civilization we're in?
Oh
Or
yes, let's do
okay.
that really quick. So good call, because we need to know. So before you start answering that, let's establish where we are.
Okay.
In fact, that is once we get the pillars out, that's the first thing we usually do. So we have a couple of options here. There's the first city, which is like the first city of mankind. There is the place of magic, which is like a fantasy city. The opulent tides, which is like a what's it called? An island city.
Okay.
The Western Haven, which is like the Wild West. The Divine Jungle, which is sort of Mayan mystical stuff. The Red Prometheus, which is the first major city on Mars. And the Rising Singularity, which is AI and humans coming together for the first time.
Can I do like the quickest idea of what I was imagining when what the buildings look like that might influence what?
Yeah.
So I was imagining kind of a place that revolved around steam.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So like the buildings, like I don't know if it sits on something where there's a lot of like hot water underneath that generates, like it keeps the city warm. People like figured out how to like make all the walls and stuff, like have like pipes and things like that. There's a lot of fog, but not really, because it's all the steam. So it's like kind of humid, but it's like a comfortable heat.
Sure.
But it depends on where you're living, because sometimes like a lot more steam comes out in other places. And so like I'm obviously real cold right now, so I'm just imagining the exact, I was like, it's going to be hot and humid.
Okay.
So but like not like, but like kind of like visually kind of cool, because it's like about piping and and like, so I don't know which world that would kind of fit.
So I mean we can do it in any of them really, except for maybe the first city, although even there we could say it's steam powered. But the one that stands out to me might be the Opulent Tides, which is like an island city, and it runs on steam.
So kind of like almost like Venice, but it's not Venice. It's like a steam version of Venice.
Well, so I'll read the caption,
cool.
thing for this. It says, the island of Icarus lies strategically between two major continents, making their civilization the midpoint for traders and travelers from these lands. Though it began as a small village for merchants to take refuge in during their voyage across the sea, the city soon grew into a place of luxury and extravagance, a central hub of trade and commerce for everyone in the region.
Okay, yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, so I imagine it being sort of like this central area in the
like imagine like here's the thing. I also like keep imagining it kind of like a little like kind of like a Greek island where there's a lot of white.
Yeah.
But like it's just like steam. It's like white walls and like blue things, but it's just somehow very steamy.
Cool. I like that a lot.
Wait, so we're a place in between two other between two.
We're like
how big are we?
An island. We'll figure that out as we go. We're like an island between two major nations that serves as a trading hub.
Okay.
And our main power is steam.
Okay, like are we a? Yeah, we have to figure out the size, because a part of me is like, are we like a Hawaii, or are we like an Indonesia, or are we like a?
I don't know. As we
are
play,
we a New Zealand?
As we play, it'll sort of help to define that.
Okay.
I think. Great. Okay. So go ahead and write down the answer to your strength question, and for Luis, for you, the weakness.
My weakness.
And then come up with your character that you're going to be playing. It can be as simple as just a name, which I have a list of names in here if anybody wants name suggestions. A name, some physical characteristics, and anything else you think is occupation, and anything else you think is important. So let's just take a minute and do that, and maybe we'll just cut this part out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm ready.
Okay, great. Star, let's start with you.
Okay, so my character's name is Seven Malarkey. She's an assistant to the main pipe inspector. She's really wants to be good at her job.
Great.
She's very tidy, very organized, because working with the pipes can be messy. So she like tries to like be tidy herself. And her thing that she's like afraid of something, but I want to find out what like Luis's like fear situation is before I like settle on what.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool, it sounds good. And you want to read the answer to your strength question.
Oh, that this city is made, it's like runs on steam essentially, but not like in a steampunky way. It's just the island sits on kind of like some type of like heat reservoir volcano situation. So they use a lot of pipes and stuff to essentially run the city and keep it warm and comfortable, but it's kind of humid because there's steam everywhere.
Is it our energy source, the steam, or is it like, do we run it through the pipes to like power stuff?
Some people do.
Okay.
It's not like the complete source of stuff, but it's so like a part of the city that most people don't even really think about it too much.
Got it. But it's an integral part of running the city.
It lives everywhere. Like it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of like how, like in our context, like we have like sewage piping everywhere, but we don't think about it until it gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Then we're like, oh shit, literally. But this is like, it's like,
yeah,
it's like it keeps, like when you touch the walls in most places, it's kind of warm.
Yeah.
But it's like a comfortable warm.
Well, and I also like the idea, because it's architecture, that like the architecture of the city reflects this. So there are like just like almost like we have telephone wires. They have like
there's just pipes everywhere, but it's like beautifully ornate. Like people can really decorate them. Like they're just all over the city. There's just pipes.
That's cool. How does it affect the way people perceive the city? That's the other question.
I actually didn't think about that part. I only read the first part. The way people perceive the city, it's kind of like it has its moments because of all the steam. It feels mysterious and kind of, but like in like that like adventure-y kind of way where you're like, oh, if you're heading toward this town, it's just like, oh, you're going to that island of steam.
Yeah, you're going to Icarus, the island of steam.
And it's because it has a lot of like, because of like, depending on the time of day, it's generally kind of foggy.
Yeah.
But it's also beautiful because of the way they ornate like all the piping.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, so I have my pillar is religion. So my question was, spirituality plays a major part in the everyday lives of the people of Icarus. Who or what do they believe in, and what phrase, symbol, or other physical manifestation do they use to express that belief? They worship what are called the Sisters of the Tide.
Ooh.
And the Sisters of the Tide are constantly pulling the water to and fro.
Okay.
So we see the water, going in and out, and they talk about how that those are two sisters fighting. They're fighting for the water to be in and to be out. And so there are different celebrations for low and high tide.
Okay.
So like during high tide, during like the highest point of the tide, in the month or the year or whatever, they'll throw a big celebration of that sister.
Okay.
And then during the lowest tide, they will also throw a celebration of that sister. And
That's
it's
great.
like so people are always, always
cool.
talking about like the war between the sisters of the tide.
It's beautiful.
And the way that it manifests, so the phrase, symbol, or physical manifestation, is that when they replace tides for feelings. So sorry, I'm gonna just tighten this. So when somebody's feeling bad, they might say, "May your tides raise," or like, "Oh, I'm feeling low tide."
Oh.
So it's like the terminology sort of replaces
I'm into this.
the way they normally speak. And then my character, her name is Cascade.
Nice.
Just the single name. She is the third eye of the crown. So she's in charge of like the celebrations and festivals that embody the sisters.
Okay.
And her motive is to protect the leaders. So she basically looks over these. So the leaders, the crown, who are like the governing. I sort of imagining like a trio of people that run. Actually, no. You know what it is? I think it's just a duo. I think it's two women. And they are the crown.
Oh, they represent
each of the sisters.
Okay.
And the belief is that they embody the voice of each sister.
Okay.
And so they are
like
from
a Pope situation?
They're from completely different sides of government.
Okay.
So we have two different opposing viewpoints that take prominence in the government. And so they're constantly fighting. And so they are the embodiment of these sisters. But my job is to make sure that everybody worships them.
Okay.
So I hold the celebrations and the festivals that make sure people, are watching them and are
following the rules.
invested in them and are following the rules. And they may fight, but we are not allowed to. They fight for us.
Oh.
And so sometimes they'll have like public debates and stuff. In the sisters.
Do we know what faction represents, like as a general. Like does high tide like what?
Yeah, I think that maybe high tide is every man for themselves, and low tide is us as a community, us as a people, as one people. And so there's this idea of individualism versus being in a group.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out which side my character would maybe land on.
Yeah. So I think low tide I think is we're all coming together, we're all bunched together closer because all the water sort of closer to the other water, where high tide is about like everybody race for themselves, and those who are the best or have the most potential will reach the highest on all right on the shore. Luis, let's really quick before we go to you, Luis, I wanted to describe her physically. She is female. She has tan skin. She has striking blue eyes. She has dark brown hair that's like held by shells that sort of are woven into her hair.
Oh, I didn't describe my character.
Yeah, what do you think she looks like?
Honestly, when I was making her,
malarkey.
like it's a hopefully Harry Potter, but like I imagined like kind of like a female version of Percy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Kind of like lanky, has glasses, but like put together, stands very straight. Like they're just kind of like a beanpole, and they're just about like. They're very into their like it's like it would seem like a boring job.
Yeah.
Like
and your motive is to protect,
my motive is to protect the citizens. It's just like because it's really important. It's part of the structure of most of the buildings.
Yeah.
So it's very important because if it fucks up, like people could get hurt.
Yeah.
So she's just very like, but everyone thinks it's boring.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, great. Luis, let's jump over to you.
Let's jump over to me, baby. We're going to talk about safety. What are we talking about first? What, the weakness or my character?
The weakness.
Okay, the weakness. The question is, the people of Icarus all share a common fear. What is it, and where did it come from? So the common fear we all share is a venomous orange blue spotted bat has made nest in our city, coming from the northwest continent.
Oh, man. Okay, so there's like
Neat.
an invasion of...
Yeah, it's kind of took us by surprise.
Yeah.
So we didn't really realize because we were kind of isolated, and then we had a huge burst, like a huge economy just burst because of our resources.
Yeah.
And everybody was able to trade between us, and it was able to quell, relations between the Northwest and the Southeast or whatever. And so we were just kind of riding high, and then it in 1832, it created the year of death. Leaving
man.
15% of our population to die. Now we've kind of like sort of taken control of the situation, but we still haven't found a cure.
Sure. I like the idea too that there is like this history of, it's like almost a legendary creature.
Yeah.
At this point,
I like that. Okay,
And
I could
so-
tie that into my thing. I was just like, all
We're
right.
just talking about pipes and being
Yeah.
underneath.
Well, yeah, because my original thing was just like I wanted to kind of be like afraid of like this specific kind of like mold, but like mold with a capital M, like it's like
Yeah.
where it either damages the pipes or it makes people sick.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of maybe the source of that is the bat,
Well,
but no
I was
one
gonna say,
really knows that.
I want
Right.
to pitch something for that. So I think it's cool that that we have like this sort of legendary creature. It's like the chupacabra,
Yes.
right? So like it doesn't exist anymore, but everybody fears it because of what
Right.
happened.
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah,
past.
yeah. I like that.
And that what is so scary about them is that they build their nests in the steam. They are like steam
exactly.
bats.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so they're like.
Oh, I love it.
So they
They've been-
live in the pipes, and sometimes when they're blocked, they're like, "Oh, it's the bats." It's the bats
Right.
that
We
block
kind
the
of
pipes.
banished them, and they're like, well, they still in the pipes.
Yeah.
You heard
Yeah.
about
And
that?
you're like, they're not in the.
but we've had some pipe issues.
They're not in the like because I want her to like she's kind of fresh faced to it.
Yeah.
Like she's like really eager.
You're probably
She
a new
studied
generation
everything.
that wasn't around for
and
this.
and she's heard of the bats, but every time she talks to other officials and stuff, everyone's just like, "There's no fucking
there's no bats.
And she's like, "Are we sure though?"
Yeah.
Like she could see some evidence of it, but like not enough to like really like speak up about
Blue
it.
Sure.
spotted bats.
But like it seems okay.
What are they called? The what?
I just said the blue spotted bats.
Blue spotted bats.
We could think of a better name, but I'm
I
just
like
thinking,
blue spotted bat.
just thinking of maybe it has a certain look to it that
Yeah.
people like, a definable look.
I think they're big.
Yeah.
Like cat
I think
big?
they're like. I think they're like like owl big or like.
Like they have huge wings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Huge
like
wings.
owl. Okay, owl big. Like,
Yeah.
like great horned owl big.
Like great horned owl.
That's
big.
very scary.
Okay,
That's
that's
very
huge.
scary.
That's a huge fucking
Yeah,
bat.
that's fun
Yeah.
because then it's like, oh, what is that up in the sky? And you just
Oh my
see, like,
god!
the
And if you
shadow
see a
this
bunch
thing.
of them, it's
But it's just birds most of the time. It's just
yeah.
birds.
You think it's birds? It's terrifying.
Oh,
Do we
that'd
have
be
like a
scary.
smaller actual like regular bats too that are
Oh, I'm
just
sure.
like everyone's just
Yeah,
like
yeah, normal
They're
bats.
like, nah, man, that's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
just
a
normal
regular
bat.
bat.
Okay, what is your
Okay.
character?
My character, his name is Windleberry.
Windleberry.
He monitors the docks at night during nightly trade.
Okay.
So yeah, just making sure no shit goes down. He is a high tide member,
Okay.
and his parents. So he's a twin of
Okay.
another somebody else, and his parents kind of favor the other twin
Oh,
because
man,
he's kind
okay.
of made more successful moves. He's kind of had his own like business and trading company that's able to work between the two places, and he's kind of stuck just monitoring the docks.
Sure.
So they always kind of say you're never good enough, you're never doing anything correctly, and so he's just kind of stuck here.
What is it about him that makes him want to bring down Icarus?
Okay. Oops. Yeah.
No. I think it's fine
Yeah,
because we
that's
can
great.
play with
That's
the
a
idea
good
of
way
like,
of.
what is it? Because you sort of set up that he is troubled, right?
Yeah.
So what is
and
it
he has something
about-
to prove.
Yeah. And what is
and
it about this society that he doesn't agree with?
I think that, to be honest, he is kind of a pawn to a bigger thing,
Okay.
and maybe he sees himself as a bigger part of this play than he actually is. I think somebody's conned him. I think somebody is trying to give him a quick way to get money and fame, because
Yeah.
there's these two other places to live at. The island is only one spot. He can leave. So maybe there's a chance for him to have a home somewhere bigger if he's able to bring down this island, probably because of a competition between the other country, I guess.
Yeah.
Between the two continents.
The other thing
like,
I was going to pitch you is that you said he's part of the high tide.
it's part of the high tide.
So
So he thinks,
if we keep just so we keep everything like in the same region.
yeah.
What if the high tide is planning to try and take over, basically,
Right.
and they're trying to eliminate this duality so that they can
okay.
seize power. And so in doing that, they've recruited this person who works at the docks and
Right.
is part of the high tide because they can smuggle in.
Yeah, exactly.
Different.
I'm trying to figure
contraband
out.
things.
I'm trying to figure out if like personality wise, if Seven is a high tide person working in a low tide department, or the other way
Whoa.
around, where she's a low tide person working in a high tide
Yeah.
Right.
situation. Because I don't know what would be better for the story.
I think it's more. I think for personally, just if you're asking opinion wise, I think that it's better if she is low tide because then we have a we have a dissonance, and then I'm stuck in the middle.
Okay.
Right.
And
I'm
high
the
tide.
sisters
But
of the
I
tide.
want her to be like working in a place where like. But
That's
also,
good.
I'm like, well, the pipes are for like, because she's going in like the pipes are for everybody.
But so-
It has to protect everybody, but some people get better pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And the
And maybe
people
she
there's-
sees that.
Yeah.
Somebody's running those pipes.
Yeah.
And they're probably getting paid a little bit more.
That's great. Okay, so go ahead and take your motive and your pillar and just like set them down by the edge of the table because you won't need to use them. You want them there to remember, but you won't need to necessarily use them. And put your character right in front of you, and then take your aspect. These are called aspects. Anything that is on one of these sticky notes beside your character is an aspect. So go ahead and just take that and put it in front of you. Usually we would put it upside down so that everybody else at the table could see it.
Okay.
But because we're all sort of sitting side by
Yeah.
side, we'll just leave it.
I kind of messed up.
What'd you do?
So if you want to mess up, if you don't want to mess up, look at me. I use this other note to take notes about your characters, and then I put all my information here.
Oh, you're fine.
So should I?
So make a new. I'll give you a
Yeah.
thing. Just
So
make
tell
a
me
new
what to do,
aspect
yeah.
that just reflect. You can just put blue spotted bats. Legendary blue spotted bats are venomous, and the people of Icarus fear them. Just something like that. Okay, great.
Oh, I was gonna add. I don't know if this is adding too much.
Sure. Let's talk about it.
But I was also thinking that and this is creating utter chaos because bats that size is already scary, but if you get bit, it's almost like this rabid thing.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if that's too much.
That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's why people fear it, right? The venom makes you rabid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rabid, blue-spotted bats.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna talk about the monument now. The monument is health. Is the health pillar. So let's talk about why we're building this thing.
Okay.
What is the purpose of this tower? Do we think it has to do with health? Is it?
Maybe sometimes it does get too warm.
Oh, interesting.
And you have to have they decided on making a tower to
very
release
good.
the steam.
Oh, that's super
Like
cool.
when it's too when it's too hot, it releases the steam in a tall away from everybody.
So maybe we're having this problem because the steam is increased, like the amount.
Yeah,
because
sometimes there's
we're
weird
building this thing.
blockages for some reason.
Is it weird if we could pair this with the celebrations of the high and the low tide?
Or what? The steam?
The clearing of the
so
steam?
this is the thing that we're building currently.
Building.
So I think that it's interesting that we have this influx of steam that's happening.
Got it.
And in order to try and but no, I think you're right. What was happening before is all of a sudden the steam would just erupt from the area that this pillar monument is going to take place going to be located in. Like steam would just erupt from there, and so in order to control that, we're building a thing over the top of that rupture to sort of get that steam up and out so that it doesn't burn people.
And we'll make it really ornate and beautiful, and it'll
Like
be
we
like
do with the
almost
pipes.
it'll be almost like this steam fountain.
Yeah, steam tower fountain. I like that.
Maybe it has little openings so when it releases it
it's gonna create some music.
Kind of like a Bellagio fountain of steam.
Oh, you just said music. Are
Yeah.
you saying it has holes on the side?
Yes.
So it makes a sound? Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
To release steam. To release heat is sort of what it is.
Can there be a temperature where if you hear a certain note,
Oh, yeah, and it's
we know that's oh fuck,
That's a bad.
that's
that's
a good
really
idea.
the bad note.
So I'm putting that here. That's in the middle of the table.
Cool.
Steam tower fountain to release heat. I'm going to get rid of this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 cards to start us off. So, Star, do you want to draw the first card and read it aloud?
The cracks in our facade. Oh no.
no.
So the first era is called the cracks in our facade.
Okay.
A valuable resource from outside the city has suddenly become much more expensive because of limited quantity now available. What is it and why is it now in scarcity?
So we're all going to answer this question together because this is like a starting piece. So is there anything that we think that we get from outside the city that is expensive, that is less available now?
My first thought was spices, but that doesn't feel like on theme.
Yeah, a valuable resource from outside the city. So the steam is what we have inside.
Right, so
what is something thematically opposite that we could use that might be fun?
you mean not? Okay.
Like ice?
Oh yeah.
Like things to keep things cool
Okay.
and refrigerated?
Yeah, I think maybe there is a certain there's a certain coolant or something, not coolant, but
Right.
there's a certain thing.
Like a temperature regulator?
Yeah, or some sort of even some sort of chemical or something that we use to cool things down.
Okay, yeah.
Because it gets so hot here.
Yeah.
And so we have to bring that in
A
because
coolant of
I think maybe it's made from cold. Because we're in sort of magical, mystical thing. So when it gets really cold, there is a form of
like a what's it called?
Like a
Like an
deposit?
antifreeze kind of situation.
like a thing, like an organic thing that is made, a compound that is made that allows things to stay frozen or something, and we don't have that. So suddenly things are getting hot.
Okay.
Okay,
Beautiful.
yeah.
So
into it.
a valuable
into it.
resource from outside the city suddenly become more
What do we
more
wanna
expensive
call it?
because of the limited quantity now available. What is it? And why is it now in scarcity? Yeah. What is the name of it? Is it
Para.
We could do
I like-
yeah.
Fuck.
What were you?
I had
was
it. I liked your para, and I was just trying to figure out how to add it to like parafrost or something.
Yeah.
Want to do perafrost? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Is it a thing?
If it's not a thing, if it is a thing, then it's our
Perafrost.
thing now. It's perafrost. So perafrost.
Okay.
is
Do you want it to be like a spray? Do we want it to be like an organic thing? Is it like a
I think it comes in like
Is it like a brick, like salt, or is it like a
Ooh, I kind of like that it's like dry ice.
Yeah.
And so it like smokes.
Yeah, which
That's-
helps with the steam
Yeah.
thing.
Totally helps with the steam theme. Permafrost is more expensive because the whole world is heating up, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least this island, because it's like I want to say like we know it sits on like kind of Yellowstone where it's a volcano.
Right.
So it's like, but it's like we're on a vine of a volcano.
Oh, sure. So like the
fissure kinda thing.
the neighboring countries that we would normally get it from because it's outside the city.
Yeah.
That we normally get it from. They are also having.
Yeah, maybe like there's like whatever the underground lava-esque kind of like
Yeah.
volcano thing is going on, like it's expanding in other places.
The
So
volcano is expanding. So why don't we be on a volcano? That's fun.
okay.
Yeah, I was thinking.
The volcano is expanding. So there's like a Mariana's Trench or something where like there's just a trench.
It's like the ring of fire. It's the ring of fire.
That's what it is. Yeah, there's like a ring of fire that is expanding and it's heating up everything around us. Okay, so that's a thing. That's gonna go probably near Steam and this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna put it.
So
like
Spencer
here
is
on the
like
table.
kind of adjusting the notes accordingly.
Yeah, I'm
to-
like creating a mind map of the city. So it's like it's going between the steam tower fountain that's used to release heat and the actual steam aspect that you've created, Star, to sort of give us a good visual sense of what that might where that might lie. Okay, I'm gonna draw a second card. Do you want to draw it, Luis? Why
Oh,
don't you read
sure.
that?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, the cracks in our facade.
We're still in that area.
A resource the city once relied on as a prominent
Oh,
export
wow, we're getting all the resource
to
ones.
other nations is now running dangerously low. What is it and why is it no longer available?
Oh,
so
what
now
do
we're
we
exporting.
provide?
Yeah, so I don't think it's Steam because
No,
it's getting
no.
hotter. It's funny. We got the two resource cards. We're gonna set up
I
with some
think
resource
we
problems.
grow like with our steam we grow certain types of like a weird algae that's really tasty.
Oh yeah, like a food.
Like a food, like a I don't know, like a not like a bad like an algae, like
Yeah.
that mold, but like the good stuff,
Yeah.
like where it's just like kind of like a
Like
kelp.
like a probiotic. or
What if
something?
there's like it's like a superfood and it
Yeah.
grows around where the steam.
Yeah.
Well,
comes
there's like
out?
maybe there's like a farming area where it's just like they purposely like make the piping so that the steam is at the
Yeah.
proper temperature
Yeah.
for growing this particular type of algae.
And I like that a lot because we can play into what we just drew and say that it's now usually they would use parafreeze to get it to the right temperature
Yeah.
because it was too hot
Oh,
before.
maybe
That's-
during the low tide period, it's easier to grow this thing.
Right.
But since we're trying to grow it year round during high tide as well, that's when we really use the permafrost. But lately, it's been getting hotter,
Permafrost, yeah.
and we're also not really experiencing as much low tide
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
So that's why. So it's like it's doubling up on
Yeah,
itself. Like
yeah.
what we used to naturally create isn't happening as often for some
So
reason.
this algae that helps, like it's like a
it's like a vitamin. Like it's almost like our like a just
anti-inflammatory.
it's maybe it's like a staple food like a rice.
Staple food. So
Interesting.
let's just call it algae because that's fun. It's thematic with the water stuff that we're doing. So algae,
How do we make that sound?
an important
Like-
food.
The algae.
The algae, the important food, an important food.
It sounds like an app.
In Icarus.
Yeah, it's like a rice or a potato. Like it tastes
Yeah.
like it's like you season it to make it taste like something, but it's just kind of like a weird carb.
Yeah.
Is it green or is it white?
Or is it orange and yellow?
I think it's like a maybe it's a red. Maybe it's like a red algae.
Okay.
red with like
Okay.
with,
I
like,
want to
crystallized.
I want to distinct it so that it's like color wise different from like the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So we like know like no, that's food.
Yeah, that's food. Which is interesting because red's usually the opposite of
Yeah,
that.
well, when you said red, I was like, oh, is it spicy? Like that's like,
Oh, maybe it's a little spicy. That's
yeah,
fine.
like it had a little kick.
So I'm placing this algae, an important food in Icarus, is being scorched. I think that's probably going to go... I think that's actually going to go here, which is on the other side of the steam tower, because I think that has to do with the docks where you're exporting stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Because like suddenly you don't have as many imports or exports, because the permafrost isn't coming in and the algae isn't going out.
Right.
So I think that's cool. So that is our starting situation.
Cool.
So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go around and we're gonna put a die on something that our character would want to address, and then we're going to draw a card and answer it. We can ask for help, but we ultimately get the final say in what the answer is. So Luis, I think we're gonna start with you.
Okay, let's do it.
So
what am I interested in?
Yeah, what does your character want to do here? You're trying to bring down Icarus.
Right. I'm probably going to... My focus is going to be on the permafrost.
Okay.
And do I need to give... What do I got to do again? I'm sorry.
So, no, it's okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your die on an aspect your character is interested in changing.
Okay.
And describe briefly why and what they want to change. And then when we come back around to you, you'll talk about what success would look like for you. But just like looking at what's out here, what do you think your character might want to change? It doesn't need to be for... it. Sometimes it will be, for good, quote unquote.
Right.
Sometimes it'll be for your own benefit.
Right.
But it's just a thing that you're looking to affect as your character in the city.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the permafrost. I think I'm mixing success. What my success would be because I'm trying to limit.
Oh, you're trying to limit it.
The permafrost coming in.
Yeah. So maybe that's part of.
You're just dumping that shit in the water.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna put your die
Shipments
there.
are suddenly just lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, shipments of the permafrost have been lost. Okay. And then you're gonna draw a card, and you will answer this card. So there you go. There's your
This
card.
is exciting. I
And
really
so
like this game,
I answer
Spencer.
this after we go through your
No, you answer. You answer
Okay.
now. Yeah.
What controversial part of the What controversial part of the Icarus culture do other surrounding nations not agree with or share?
So we're sort of establishing something about the city that other nations don't agree
Yeah,
with.
I mean, I think we are a. I think it's easy to say I can lean into the religion part,
Sure.
Yeah.
like the high and the low tide. I think they find that to be a little bit archaic. I think they find it to be a little bit childish. I think that they are kind of, in their minds, they think as themselves more civilized.
Sure.
And so they kind of look down upon it.
The fact that their government is based on a religion.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ah!
The tower fell.
Okay.
The box is
I
down. It's a
cannot
good thing
do
that
that.
didn't. I'm actually gonna take
Yeah, I
that
was
down.
gonna say, I'm like, what happens if that's?
Okay, so I'm gonna have you go ahead and write that down.
I might
here.
digitally put it in here.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love
put
it.
a mask.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
go
what
ahead and
are we
write
doing?
down there whatever your answer to this was. So, what controversial part of the Icarus culture do other surrounding nations not agree with or share? It's the fact that we have Icarus is looked down upon for their
religion.
for their religious government.
Okay.
Their religious-based government.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Is it weird? I'm already defensive. I'm like, well, fuck you then. Even though I'm like, I don't agree with the religious-based government.
Yeah.
I would not be a part of this. Like,
Well, I wonder
me
if-
as myself, I would be like, eh. But as a character, I'm like, well, fuck you.
I wonder if there's certain limitations or the way that like certain trades are done because of the like.
Oh, sure, like rituals and things.
Yeah, like they're like, come on, dude, let's just meet tomorrow. And they're like, no,
Yeah, we
if
can't.
you-
It's high
we have
tide.
to, yeah,
or
we have
whatever.
to wait.
High tide,
We have to wait for the tide to like.
And they're like, well, I got to move the shipment out, and I can't because of your high tide.
Yeah.
And now we have to go through this whole procedure before we even meet or something.
Totally.
I don't know. So looked, yeah, there you go.
So I'm gonna put that near me.
Okay.
Sadly, not sadly, but like that is definitely something that I am.
That's a PR
conscious
problem.
of. Yes, I am conscious of that. Where do we think that also goes? That probably goes near between the two of us because you're at the docks, so you probably deal with this more
Right.
often. You hear this.
You hear
from
the
sailors
rumors
who
from the
come over.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. We're gonna jump over to you.
Okay.
What is something that your character might want to change here?
Like, I think she's thinking about these two problems together.
Yeah.
So I don't know if can it be put in the middle or is it?
No. So
or it
you
has to be
would
the-
choose one or the other.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with this.
Okay.
with
So what are you
with
trying
the
to
fountain.
add to that?
I think she thinks the solution to the not being as dependent on the permafrost is that somehow we could control the release of the heat. I think right now the tower naturally does its thing, but I think she feels like she can maybe manipulate the piping system so that it self-cools, depending if you could redirect the steam in a certain way. But people don't want to change. Like that's a massive undertaking to essentially restructure the pipe system. Like maybe like she thinks it could maybe like actually there's a section of the piping that could go into the ocean and then come back to cool, kind of like a computer kind of thing. But that's a lot of effort. That's also fucking with the kind of a little bit the whole tide situation, because you're it's like
controversial.
But like being able to maybe control the release of the heat, maybe like it's like it would cost a lot now, but maybe it would be more cost in the future.
It's like the problem we're facing, where it's like it would cost a lot now to do what we need to do to save the Earth.
You know,
in the future,
your average low tider situation where you're like, well, maybe we could like help you ourselves if we could like, you know, because we can't control the volcano, but there's elements around that we can maybe use the thing that's happening for our benefit in a way where it's like maybe if we control the release of the heat, we won't exaggerate the problem.
Totally.
You know, like but it might not be like a good fix. It might be still like a small thought. You know, it's a thought.
So that's cool. So I'm gonna put that on the steam tower because you're gonna try and change the tower. Were you trying to change the pipes? All of the pipes?
Like.
Because if you are, maybe we put this here on the actual steam pipe thing that you've created. Because you're trying to change the whole piping system,
I just know like the main thing is like she definitely wants to use like the fountain at the end
to do that. So we'll put that there.
As like the main function of like if you could control the main release of that. And then, but it's a little bit of both. It's controlling.
We'll do it here, and then that will affect the rest. This is like a test, to see if it'll work elsewhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she's like gonna do it there, and if it works there, because that is the hottest part, then maybe it will work elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now you're gonna draw a card.
Oh dear.
And you're gonna answer the card.
The cracks in the facade. A wave of crime is spreading through the city. What is it, and what group is being blamed for it? There is a group. There's a group of low tiders that have a bad rap amongst the society.
Yeah.
And even though they like their messages that we're trying to help people and all, but like they just have a bad rap because it's like I don't know, they end up fucking up stuff and pipes and things like a lot of them are kind of like there's a section of them that are kind of like the low tide version of anarchy where they're just like literally breaking pipes because they're like, we need to be free of these pipes. But like,
well, they're like free steam for everybody, and they're breaking the pipes.
Yeah, but it's almost like a bad PR. It's like but it like kind of like their their leaders are like, that's not us. We're not doing that. We're being blamed for that. But it is happening. Some like maybe there's
pipes breaking.
There's pipe breaking.
I have a question. Is it okay if I?
What
if like? Is this dumb where instead of them breaking the pipes, they're kind of like configuring the pipes so that it goes rerouting the pipes?
Can we double it? Where their group, they're like, no, we're reconfiguring. That's our deal. We reconfigure the pipes. But there are pipes that are breaking. And people are thinking that it's this group. That they're redirecting stuff is breaking pipes. But they're like,
to the common
no, we make sure our shit doesn't break pipes. Like, so, but as a result, like, pipes are being broken, and it's a problem, and it's a big crime. Like, that's a huge crime in the city
totally
fuck with the piping.
So go ahead and put pipes are breaking, pipes are being broken, and however you want to phrase.
I don't want to. What do we call this group?
I think low tiders is perfectly fine, but you can also
see,
come
that's
up with
the thing, because there's part of the religion. Like, I want to say, like, low tiders is like,
it's like a bigger piece.
It's a bigger piece. Like, they're like a subsection.
These pipers, these pipe breakers, these
like what lives in the like the crabs, like they're like maybe like
that's good.
Like the things that live in the low tide when like you see them come out when there's low tide, the little creatures. What are they called? Like
there's like mussels and clams.
The mollusks.
The mollusks.
That's good.
So good. Those goddamn mollusks.
The mollusks are being
mollusks. It's fun to say.
I can't.
I have a question for your character, Louise.
Okay, very good.
Are you maybe responsible for? Are you and your friends maybe responsible for these pipes breaking?
I'm a high tider.
I know.
Oh.
I know what you're saying. I know you're high tider. I'm saying you guys might be blaming it on the low tide.
Where did this?
I don't know. Where do you think it goes?
Pipes being broken seems like it's part of the steam situation.
Yeah, so I think maybe it just goes like near you.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
now it's me. All right. This is definitely that's my pen. The being looked down upon for our religion-based government is definitely an issue for me. My whole thing is protecting the leaders, and my leaders are the Sisters of the Tide, who embody the gods that made this earth. So the fact that anybody would threaten the Sisters of the Tide is not okay. So I'm going to put my die there, and I'm going to try and do something about that. I don't know what yet, but we'll find out. Cascade is not happy about that. Okay. I'm going to draw a card.
I just like that she's like a dishwasher detergent, and they make a lot of foam. So for me, it's like all on theme of like the water and the everything. So I'm like, it's like foamy water.
Yep. Oh boy. Okay. A group from the city is sent out to investigate a strange anomaly just beyond the border. What do they see, and who's going to investigate?
Oh.
Okay. I think I want to bring in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was wondering.
Those bats.
Yeah.
So the group from the city is sent out to investigate these the sightings of these bats that have.
You said they live in the steam, right?
They do, and so I think maybe just beyond the border of the city there is an area. Maybe it's like a shoal or a reef.
Ooh, I like a reef.
Where the steam comes out of.
It's more like a bubbly area.
Yeah,
maybe it's like it's just like. Ooh, it's just the boiling waters.
The boiling waters.
That's good.
So near the boiling waters, they have seen these large winged creatures flying down up and down into the steam and back up, and that is not a good thing. For us, and so they're going to investigate whether this is a reemergence.
Who's investigating it particularly?
A group from the city. So I think that maybe
it's like a new,
like just some of the people that are in charge of doing patrols around around Icarus.
The kelp something, because kelp washes up on shore.
Yeah.
During like high tide, the high tide brings in kelp.
Yeah. So maybe it's like maybe it's just the kelp watchers.
Okay.
They are the ones who see everything.
Kelp walkers.
The kelp walkers is even cooler.
I was like,
the kelp walkers, and they have kelp walkers saw winged creatures. Not winged, winged.
Okay.
I don't think there's a spelling difference. Winged creatures.
It took me a second. I'm like, is there a difference between like a bat's wings and a bird's wings, and that's why like there's two different words?
The boiling. Oh, it's gonna be caps. The boiling waters. And who's going to investigate? Yeah, it's the kelp walkers, and so they're taking boats out. They're taking like these cool steam-powered boats out.
Oh yeah, that could handle the boiling water.
Yeah. They're like built of reinforced like steel and metal, and like they run off of like maybe
like it's like a weird bottom that collects the steam.
That collects the steam and powers
and then it uses
the ship.
it to launch it. Like,
that's super cool.
Kind of thing.
Okay, so this is gonna go near those bats.
Okay.
I'll put that like.
I don't know. I also kind of weirdly imagine a lot of glass in this town.
Oh, glass? Yeah, maybe it's like a. Oh, that's cool. Maybe it's like
because I'm trying to like in my head. I'm like, I don't want it to be steampunky, but I'm like, what's the opposite of steampunky? And I'm like, a lot of glass.
Is really
it's
cool.
Very like it's just a very shiny place.
Yeah, I love it. I love the idea that above the water the boats are like glass, and then down below
that's where you get all this intricate like detailing too, and different like because it's just a lot of types of glass.
Yeah, stained glass too is kind of cool.
Stained glass, like all sorts. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have all put our die on things we want to change. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around in the same order, and we're going to roll to resolve to see if what we do happens, what we want to do happens. So Luis, you started, so I'm going to give you this die.
Okay. Question before I roll. This permafrost again, that's used to cool down the pipes. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's used to cool down the steam.
We'll say it maintains temperature.
It maintains the temperature of the pipes.
Yeah.
Heats. Okay.
It's
great.
like an air conditioning situation. Like
Yeah.
it can
Right.
if it gets too hot, it brings it down. If
it's regulating.
it's-
kind
yeah.
Of, okay. Regulates.
So on a 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're going
Right.
to fail.
Okay,
on a
great.
5 or 6, you will succeed at what you're trying to do. So describe success.
You just did like a triple take. Like what?
because it was so. I was just like, but that it went from like, oh man, that's a lot of numbers to like, wait, that's most of the numbers. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. What would success look like here for you? For what is his name?
Windleberry.
For Windleberry. What does
Okay.
success look like here for Windleberry?
How big picture and how small picture are we talking about?
I mean, let's talk about it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Yes, I want there to be less permafrost coming in.
Okay.
So that there could be a now all of the shipment is going to the center core of the city. That's why I'm monitoring it because it's
Yeah.
important. So all this permafrost is going directly to the core of the city, and I'm trying to get rid of it so that the pipes will start breaking because of the heat.
Right.
So that's my.
I want to ask a question, and I don't know if there's an answer yet, but I just want to
Yes.
clarify with your character so that we
Please.
can understand the motive. So we can just talk through it. Like, you're looking to bring down Icarus so that you is there
There's a guy paying me.
Oh, there's a guy paying you
I'm
to
getting
do it.
paid off to do this. So there's
Okay.
a guy from
I
the,
love it.
There's a
Okay.
guy from the Northwest.
Oh,
paying
from a
me.
different place.
Yeah.
That's paying you to do this.
Okay, yeah,
He's
that's
paying me to do this because
that's great motive.
Yeah.
There's a lot I have in my mind.
How
about,
high tide
Okay.
of you?
I
How
know,
high tide?
Very high
so
tide
there,
of
so
me.
there are boats that come in, and when those people come in from the north, what do you say, northeast, northwest?
Northwest. I was thinking that the permafrost.
They're like passing you money.
I'm thinking that the permafrost is coming from the southeast.
Yeah.
And then the Northwest is trying for me to throw that away because either they've got their own thing that they're making,
Ooh, what if
or
sometimes they're shipping you like fake permafrost too?
they could be too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the motivation of why they're trying to make me tear down Icarus, I got a lot of thoughts. I don't know if you want to talk about that now.
I think we talk about it as it goes.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
great.
I just want to make sure I knew why your character was doing it.
Getting
You're
paid
being
off.
paid off by somebody
and
from
I'm gonna
outside the
live
city.
somewhere. I'm gonna have
You're
a
gonna-
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love it. So success here would be getting rid of all of the permafrost
Yeah, I think getting rid
or permafrost. Sorry?
Yeah, let's just get rid of all of it. Let's just
Okay.
say that the boat or whatever went through something bad or
Yeah. So like shipments of permafrost have ceased,
and I'll mess with the books so it'll be like none came in.
and because of that, you think the pipes are gonna start to burst.
Right, that's
Okay.
kind of what my intent
Okay, cool.
is. So they're like break it from the inside.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna throw away this
Oh,
permafrost.
I don't want you to succeed.
No! I'm a bumbling fool and I failed.
So-
and won. I
so-
tried to pick up the permafrost. They're too heavy for me to pick up.
So let's talk about how this escalates. How it gets the opposite of what you wanted.
Okay.
What do you think happens here?
I think I try to throw it away or destroy it. They're too heavy. I didn't take into account, and I get caught.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah, one is bad.
I want to pitch you. I want to pitch you an idea.
Yeah, pitch it.
What if what if you don't get caught throwing it overboard necessarily, but you get an area next to the island suddenly like freezes.
Oh, because it falls and then it just kind of creates.
You threw it in the ocean and suddenly
Yeah.
there's like a frozen spot in the ocean.
Oh,
and people
okay.
are like,
Yeah.
so people are suspicious
Yeah.
of.
So I don't get caught. It's just frozen, and then I kind of run away.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're suspicious of that somebody's throwing permafrost overboard.
Okay, so I'm unable to.
People are starting to see the game or
Right.
like
Yeah.
I'm
okay,
unable to
like-
get. It's not as easy to get rid of as I thought. So it fails. It leaves this huge icicle on the
Yeah.
side, and then I'm like, what do I do? I'm not gonna get in trouble, so I'm gonna ship the rest of the permafrost into its appropriate container.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it
Does get shipped, because I fucked up and I wasn't able to accomplish it.
So go ahead and write an aspect that reflects that. So it might
Ooh
be
shit! The
something
person
like,
paying you is not gonna like that.
No,
Yeah,
it's
they
not.
are not.
Yeah.
Like frozen. Yeah, something about the frozen thing and.
Frozen cliff, I guess. Frozen.
Just an iceberg.
Yeah, an iceberg.
Yeah. Iceberg. Emerges.
appears off. Yeah, emerges off the shores of Icarus.
Off the, yeah.
Just people just saying, what
And
the fuck is
yeah,
that?
people are very suspicious.
And that's it. Do I don't mention the delivery? 'Cause
I
that's not
think
important.
putting like people are suspicious. People are now suspicious.
People are.
Oh, where was this supposed to go back in like the?
Oh yeah, that goes there.
Okay.
Okay, and this is gonna go over there.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go near the Perifrost thing.
Okay, so I put a die.
You're gonna stack a die. Actually, you're the first player, right?
Yeah.
So you're actually gonna add one for being the first player. So at the beginning. Oh no.
No, am I?
No, we've already done that. Yeah. So basically, what happens at the beginning? Yeah, you're the first player. So at the beginning of the round, the first player will add a die to the tower. So I'm actually gonna move this steam tower fountain thing.
But the first player changes as we go.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna scoot all of this over so that you can start to put the die there. So if you just want to set the first die in the center of the table and then add a die for the failure.
Okay.
What?
So we
Oh,
keep
no.
adding no matter what.
You keep adding when you fail. So when you
But
at the beginning of each round, the first player adds a die as well.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't. Oh, this is. I'm already stressed.
Oh, what's the rule in putting up and down?
So you can once you let go of it, you can't touch it again.
But so is it like?
You could sit there and adjust it.
You can, as long as you don't let go of it.
Okay.
Oh no, Spencer,
Good.
this is gonna. No, this is bad.
We're only at 2. We're okay.
No, but I have shaky hands.
I know.
If you can't do it, let me know and I can stack it.
Okay, because I'm like thinking of my distance from here too, and I'm like,
there we also have if for people that don't have the ability to stack dice, like if they physically can't, or you're playing online, we have a sheet that you roll and you mark off numbers, and once you've marked off all of the, like if you've marked off all the 1s or all the 2s or all the 3s or all the 4s, then that is the tower falling.
Oh, okay, that's
so it's like
cool.
a dex-friendly way of being able to do it. If you don't want to actually stack dice, it's not as like exhilarating because you're not stacking
I'm already
dice.
stressed out. It's just too.
Yeah.
But if you're not able to,
like, what if you're playing on a boat?
exactly,
And you're just
or
like,
you're
well,
playing in a car, right?
Yeah, and you're just like, well, we can't stack anything because everything's literally
Or,
moving.
or like some people just have shaky hands and can't stack stuff.
Right.
So we give them the ability to do
that's great.
So now we're gonna jump over to you,
Okay.
Star. What would success look like for you here?
Okay, so I think she's figured out, or what she thinks she's figured out, is that there's almost like a timing for the heat being released. It doesn't seem like there's a pattern for the most part but she's been studying the way the heat's been releasing from this tower fountain for so long and just researching data and stuff that she thinks she's figured out a pattern that she could know when it's going to be at its hottest.
Yeah.
And if you could figure out when it's going to be at its hottest, you could release before then
Right.
and like let it out like gradually, and it would maybe and she's hoping that it would affect the area around it to see if that regulates the temperature, because if you can do that, then you don't need the permafrost if you could know when when it's going to be the hottest and prepare. And like, so she thinks she has the numbers, she thinks she's real close. And so I feel like she's at the tower and she's like ready to like
do the thing.
get the data to be like, okay, this thing is gonna hit that thing and it's gonna hit that note.
Yeah,
like she's ready.
She's waiting for the right sound.
And she's like there, and she's there with like her boss, like who's just like begrudgingly like, all right, like we're gonna see if this is
that's cool.
because like everyone's like, no, it's random.
Right.
It is random, and she's like,
no,
it's not random.
I love it. Okay, so go ahead and roll for me.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh.
Oh, we died out.
It's okay. Hold on.
Is it
It's okay. Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
It's not random.
It's not.
I rolled
that
a
is
6.
a 6. So tell me what aspect you're gonna create to reflect that success.
What aspect I'm gonna?
Yeah, like what are you gonna put down? How are you gonna change, or what are you gonna add to the table that reflects this?
That the science is oh my gosh, the science is there. So that means that she has the proof that she can use to begin to be able to like go to maybe like Cascade. I don't know, it was Cascade.
Yeah, Cascade.
To go to the sisters.
Yeah, the crown. The Sisters of the Tide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this information to be able to tell them that we can start redirecting the pipes, that like it's expensive, but it can be done, and we would not need to depend on the permafrost.
That's great. So maybe just write an aspect.
It's literally a binder. She's just real excited about her binder of data and like her like notebook of like I figured it out. My math is right.
So maybe the aspect is something like the seam has a pattern, and we figured it out.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
Since it's a 6, like is it a success that she's going to have a meeting with the sisters, or how far?
Well, her boss is there. The boss was like witnessed this, and it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, the seam has a
pattern. That's where the seam's
Yeah.
ended. It's like she's witnessed it.
The seam has a pattern that can be used.
The heat is predictable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because you rolled a 6, this goes back into the pool, and you don't have to stack anything.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. So,
it's probably gonna go by the steam tower, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll put this here.
If it had failed, can I say what I thought would have happened if it would have failed? That I was gonna have it that like Luis's icicle kind of fucked with the temperature enough that like it made her calculations off. So it's like that sensitive.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's why people don't think there's a pattern, is because a lot of the environment can affect the temperature.
Yeah, the temperature. Apparently it didn't, though. Apparently
but it didn't.
Fine.
No, it's more resilient than you think.
Good.
Okay, so mine is that we are looked down upon for our religious-based government. Basically, people think that when we make decisions based on these, based on the tides and based on these warring sisters, that we are being silly. So I think I'm going to try and hold a festival where we invite people from the other nations to come and see what our culture is all about, to show them why we believe what we believe and how our culture. So I'm reaching out to the other nations to see if they will send diplomats, send reporters, maybe even people that can spread to the people, to the citizens of these other places.
You're Leslie Knope.
Yes, I am Leslie Knope.
Like that just solidified what I was just like, oh, you're Leslie.
So that is my goal here. Success here looks like we have visitors from the surrounding nations that come to our festival and appreciate our and
they have a great time.
Yeah, have a good time. Oh boy,
that's amazing. Oh, I hope you get it.
Yeah! Wow, 2 successes. Okay, so what happens here is that we invite other. We basically house and look after and like give a VIP sort of tour to people from the Northeast and the Southwest. Okay, Northeast and Southwest?
Northwest, Southeast.
Northwest, Southeast. Where'd that pad go? So we've invited or successfully
You invited diplomats?
Yeah, brought diplomats and
maybe celebrities from the other.
Oh, I like that.
You know?
Celebrities, etc. from surrounding nations.
Yeah.
Experience Icarus.
Now.
To experience culture. That's good.
We get to showcase our little tower.
Yeah.
Come to Icarus. You'll always be moisturized.
We have very good skin.
We have very good skin.
Okay, I'm gonna put this right by.
Our hair's a mess.
I'm actually gonna replace this aspect, so we're gonna get rid of this one, because we're not looked down upon necessarily anymore. We've successfully brought them to experience our culture, and relations are, at least in my eyes, improving.
That's so Leslie. It's great.
I'm very excited about it. Okay, so that is the first round. We only have 2 die, which is crazy. So that's good. So now we're gonna skip to the next. We're gonna skip first players to the next person. So that's gonna be you.
Okay.
So you're going to put a die on something that you want to change, and then you're going to draw a card.
I want to change the pipes. I want to change.
Being broken.
Well, like the way it's being, like the flow, the way like at least the main ones are being redirected, since we know.
Oh, since
the
you have that
timing.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Or am I trying to get permission to do it? But this is the focus.
I think that would be getting permission. I think
Okay.
that is your goal right now is to
Okay.
is to be able to do that change, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. I'm trying to show everyone my binder.
Yes.
It has all the data. I know there's a lot of numbers, but look, we could figure this out.
Yeah, we don't need the
I
parafrost.
feel like both of you are Leslie Nope. You and your binder.
Mine is more like Amy Santiago from Brooklyn
yeah,
Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yes.
That's kind of what I'm challenging. When I saw binder, I was like, oh, I'm Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
go ahead and draw a card. We're in the second era now.
Oh, second era. Okay. The rifts between us. What? A curfew is decreed upon the citizens of the city. Oh. What happened to cause it, and how is it enforced?
Oh, I know why.
Well, the pipes are still being broken. People are still fucking with the pipes.
Oh, that's true.
Or they're bursting.
I don't
think
know.
here's the
Now I'm
thing.
waiting.
Wait,
I
wait.
think
No. I don't want to say anything. I want.
here's
you
the
to-
thing. Seven believes
Yeah.
that the pipes are bursting. She doesn't think people are doing it. She
Okay.
could be wrong, because she believes in people. But because of the bursting pipes, the high tide aspect of the government is
Yeah.
like, well, it's happening at night, so for some reason, so it must be people because it's happening at night.
Yeah.
And so they have I guess what you call it? What's the name of the other group?
No.
The kelp walkers?
Kelp
Oh, the
walkers.
kelp
The kelp
walkers.
walkers are now like I guess they're like the law enforcement.
law
They're like, kind of like
enforcement.
the Coast Guard /
Yeah.
police force thing, but they're enforcing it,
Oh, okay. So there's a curfew decreed upon the city. You want to write it?
which is a bummer because it's messing with me with my numbers and trying to like.
Oh, so are you not allowed to be down there?
I think I have
to
like
review?
paperwork that I can do it, but it's just really like, it's
You
doesn't-
personally can't monitor the pipes anymore.
not as easily as I used to.
Okay.
Because I used to just go around like looking at. Now
Right.
it's like I have to always show my documents, and like that takes time, and it's just like I need the timing, so because
Yeah.
it's very precise to like figure out when like like I'm trying to figure out the pattern, so you have to kind of be there to witness
Right.
things.
I want to pitch something to add to that too, in that the mollusks, they, what do we think about? They were blamed. They were rounded up,
Oh,
and
Oh shit.
the pipes didn't stop bursting.
Yeah.
right.
And so they're like, we don't know who it is.
Okay. Good. This is all good.
Oh, I
This is
like
all
We don't
that.
know who it is, so we're decreeing a
I like that.
curfew
I like
Okay,
that.
okay.
so that we can find who it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I like that.
Okay, cool. So we'll add that to this guy. So you can just make another one and add it to like near there.
A part of me wants to make like maybe she has like a family member that's part of the mollusks,
Oh yeah.
and she's just like, the fuck, but also like she's like, well, you're also breaking the rules.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird like she's like torn between like her like sense of duty
Yeah.
and like that's why she wants to fix it
Right.
too. It's just like, well, if I could fix it with the math and the science, then everything will be okay.
Totally.
And you'll get out because you shouldn't have been running around with the mollusks anyway. Like it's
Right.
also a little of like,
Yeah.
shouldn't have been hanging out with them, but also like I really don't believe you were doing it. So
That's great.
It's a lot. It's that kind of conflict.
So go ahead and create an aspect that that reflects. So basically, the mullet. Talking about the mullet. Mollusks being rounded up and they still don't know who it is.
Wants to use the data to change the pipes and
wait. This is
wait.
this.
wants
This is
to use the data to prove the mollusks didn't do it.
This isn't you.
Oh,
This
is it
is
me?
This isn't. You aren't writing an aspect that reflects you.
I'm writing what happened.
You're writing what happened. You're writing about the curfew. So what
Okay.
happened to cause it, and how is it enforced?
Mollusks were rounded up.
Yep.
Were rounded up, and the pipes were still bursting.
Perfect.
I can't. I'm sorry. This is worse handwriting.
That's okay.
Bursting. So curfew enforced. Hope you like those pencil sounds.
Okay, so I think for me, I'm gonna put. You know what? Sadly, this probably goes near here. 'Cause
Okay.
They were blamed. They're still bursting. So now there's a curfew. I don't think that the Sisters of the Tide like that you found a pattern.
Yeah, because it takes away the mysticism.
Exactly. So I think that they've ordered me to like try and.
Oh, that's a bummer because she's a believer though.
Yeah.
She's still like kind of religious about
know.
it, but she feels like there's beauty in the science and the numbers
right,
about it.
and Cascade and the Crown don't. They think that you are undermining the will of God by trying to boil down our steam to numbers.
No, it's just trying to understand. It's trying to understand the goddesses.
We're gonna have this debate.
They're trying to communicate with us through the heat and the numbers.
We're gonna have this debate because I'm putting my die on steam. Has a pattern. Heat is predictable.
Whoa.
They're speaking to us through the steam and the heat
to try and stop that from getting out.
They're
that you
telling
found
us
this.
what to do.
Okay, I'm drawing a card. Oh man.
Oh no.
What happened?
I just put it on that, and we'll see what. A prominent leader in the highest echelons of the city is accused of a terrible crime. Who are they? What did they supposedly do? And how are they punished?
Well, I'm not a leader. I'm the assistant to a leader.
No.
Probably.
I'm trying to figure out if it's. Okay, so
Well,
I have a couple of thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first one is that it is one of the sisters.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And they are accused of trying to. The High Tide sister is accused of trying to get rid of the two-party system, basically, that they have.
Right.
Right. That's one thought. The other one is that we find out the person that's living here who's paying you.
Oh, interesting.
That there is like a person within the High Tide that is paying you.
Right.
Or okay, so here's what I think I want. I think I want it to be that one because I think I want to save the sisters for this role
right.
I'm about to do.
Yes.
So here's my pitch for this. I think that the prominent leader is somebody within the highest echelons of the High Tide, and when this permafrost becomes an iceberg. Where is that?
The iceberg's over. Where is that? It's over the. Is it over there?
No, it's not on my end.
Frozen iceberg. Here it is.
There it is.
So I think because of this, people are suspicious. They do investigating, and they trace it back to the person who is paying you.
Yes.
For this. And so this person's name, I'm going to grab a thing so I can find a good name. This person's name is...
Wait, are you saying this is my boss?
This is the person... This is one... Like, the person within the city that was, like, your go-to.
Right, okay.
That was, like, giving you orders.
Oh, okay.
Their name is... Niall Ripley.
So Niall Ripley was giving me money.
I love that name.
But Niall Ripley is the middle. He's
Yes.
not the guy. He's not the main dude.
He's
the main
not the
dude's
guy
off
offshore.
Yeah. Okay.
But Niall Ripley is found.
Is he a high tider or a low tider?
He is a high tider. He is
Okay.
within the highest echelons of the High Tide, and because of the frozen iceberg happening, the Kelpwalkers do a along with the low tide, the group from the like a committee from the low tide, because the High Tide are like trying to cover this up. The committee from the low tide go to investigate why this happened and discover that somebody within what was his name?
Niall Ripley.
Niall Ripley. Niall Ripley.
Yeah.
That Niall Ripley is responsible for doing this, and so your payments are cut off.
Shit. Okay.
So Niall Ripley.
The headlines are Niall denials.
Niall denial.
Because he denies
Ripley,
doing the thing, but there's evidence though or something.
Yes, Niall Ripley is
Financer.
is
Okay.
taken is found out as like leader behind permafrost
Shortage.
what do they do? How are they punished? Oh God.
There's a steam jail. Isn't there?
I have something worse.
That's
Oh.
terrible.
I have
What?
something worse, and
What
I'll
is
pitch
it?
it. And if it's too bad, let me know. We'll
Okay,
discard it
we
and
might
do
use that
something else.
X.
He's taking the boiling waters.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
that's what happens.
They
Okay.
drop him off in the boiling waters.
Damn.
Treason within the crown is
Wow, that's intense.
He
Okay,
gets-
yeah,
he gets-
yeah,
he
yeah.
gets absorbed, and then,
the
you know.
sister of the High Tide, who knows that he was doing this,
Yeah.
because the High Tide is in cahoots with
Yeah.
this offshore group. She turns on him and she goes, "I had no idea this was
Right.
happening." In order to show,
Oh, were
that
they in
she
a relationship too? Can we
Oh,
add that level of it?
Yes, they
Can
were.
there? I just want to like if we're gonna go there, let's make this like
100%.
crunchy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So he was. Yes, they were in a relationship.
oh no, he thought she would save him.
Yes,
Oh
and then-
man.
And then she turns around and says, "I had no idea that he was doing this." And people don't necessarily, they don't necessarily believe her. And so she's like, "We'll send him to the boiling waters."
Fuck, because
Because-
people kind of knew they were maybe dating.
Yeah.
So
And
they're like, of course, how would you not know?
Yeah,
and
and she was
she's
like,
just like, no,
"No,
fuck him.
he's a traitor. We send him to the boiling waters."
Oh, that's dirty. I dig it. That's fucked up. That's real fucked up.
Sent to the boiling waters. So your communication with the outside is cut off for right now.
Okay.
Damn.
That's going here.
Okay.
But now we're jumping over to you.
Oh, poor
There's
now
something you want to
Ripley.
do about that. Now Ripley was a traitor.
I know, but like, man, that's a way to go.
So I was, Niall Ripley's, I would say, his dirty second in command.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like second in command of like, legal and finances, but I'm like his dirty man. I
Yeah.
get the things that he doesn't want to get done.
Yeah.
I've come into his home. I've entered into his place. He knows me very well.
You were what's his face in Breaking Bad, like that the badass old man who like was cool. What's his name?
Oh, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're his
I'm
Mike.
Like Mike.
Yeah.
Like Mike.
Like Mike. So I find out that this is bad. This is bad for me because that money, I needed that money to survive, and I can't get cut off. I'm in too deep. So what I want to do is I want to go into his house and I want to go straight to the main guy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I want to start making contact with him.
You're gonna now try and become Niall Ripley in a sense. Like,
Yes.
become that liaison.
And
Wow.
I have a plan. Yeah, this is interesting because originally I was gonna go and break the pipes,
Oh yeah.
but I think I'm just gonna go make contact with him.
Okay.
and tell him, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, cool. You're gonna try and make contact with the outside.
Yes.
The outside force. Okay, great.
Wow.
I'm going to hand you a card.
Okay,
Wow.
here we go.
Not good.
The rifts between us. A riot breaks out in response to the escalation of a problem in the city. The High Tiders, I could say, don't like what's happening with the upper echelon. Why are they protesting, and what do they damage during the riot? Yeah, I think information isn't being distributed throughout the city, so I think a lot of people are saying that Niall is being wrongfully accused for a crime that he didn't.
Because he was well liked.
Yeah.
He was well liked. He wasn't. That they're just trying to put blame on this guy.
Yeah. The High Tiders are like, you're putting blame on somebody. It's not his fault.
Right.
Part of me was like Elon Musk before everyone found out he was weird.
Yeah.
Like that little like moment where I was like, Elon Musk's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't really know. And then,
But-
turns out he's a little fucking weirdo.
And I think there's this rift that's happening between the low and the high, in the sense that the low, the pipe breakers, the pipers,
the
whatever?
mollusks.
The mollusks.
The mollusks. Yeah, I guess there's kind of a rift happening now between them, between the high and the low, and yeah, I think.
Okay, great. So, do you want to write an aspect that reflects
God.
that says, in a sentence or phrase, sort of what has
Oh
happened?
yeah, so the high tide.
High Tiders are rioting against Niall Ripley's his
prosecution.
his prosecution. Low and
I
High
mean, mind you,
Tiders.
like if he was that high up, he was probably paying a lot of people. He was probably like
Yeah.
a foundational
figure.
So-
person. So like him being out probably
Yeah.
really affects like the livelihood of a lot of people. and not in like an illegal way. Like he probably, I mean, if you're a good high society person, you have your dark stuff, but you also help publicly so that people like you.
I
What did they
already
destroy?
put my die on something, but I
Can you
can't change it.
it?
No,
Okay.
but this is also a problem that I'm definitely concerned with.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
my thing
yeah,
is
because
protecting
public
the
relations.
leaders.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing for me too.
So high tide riding against us persecution. I think the question was also, what do they
What do they
destroy?
damage?
What do they damage? They're probably damaging. I don't know. Can there be riots outside the courthouse? I don't know what that means. Or
Yeah,
rioting.
well, let's look
I
at
don't
what we
know.
already have.
Let's brainstorm here.
So like,
They could fuck with the food supply.
yeah, we have the food supply that's out that's being scorched. So they
yeah.
could riot. Well, that doesn't really make any narrative sense though. Why would they be doing
Yeah.
that? Oh, they hurt some of the diplomats and the celebrities that are there. They get caught in the riot.
Oh no.
Okay.
How's that? Is that
Oh
is
yeah, that
okay?
works. That works.
Okay,
that
cool.
works. Oh, that fucks up your situation real bad.
Cascade is not having a good
No,
day.
she's not.
Okay, good. Here you go.
Yeah, so that's gonna sit between these two things, between Niall Ripley and the
Niall might need to go in the middle then, because it's dealing with.
yeah, Niall is probably gonna go. Well, Niall stays, and this goes in the middle of those two.
Okay,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
All right, we've all. Oh, did you? Yeah, you put a die on something. We've all put a die on something.
Yes.
You're first player,
Yes.
so you're gonna add a die to the tower because you're first player. Do you want me to add it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll add it for you. All right, here we go.
I don't want to end the game over Niall being prosecuted.
Great. The die is added. So, what does success look like here for you?
For me, it's to convince the two goddesses of the pattern, but that the pattern is also divine.
Right.
Because we're already technically cheating the system with using permafrost. So we're already like not following nature's way. We're already like messing with it. This is a way to go back to the most natural state and use it use the heat the way like it is intended to like come out.
Okay.
That's her argument for
That's
it.
true.
That's
Yeah.
great.
You're actually trying to use it organically.
So
Yeah. And,
yeah.
like, the thing is, like, she is a believer. She's a true believer in it, but she like wants the system to work, and she thinks there's a use for like the low and the high. She's a low tider because it helps more people.
Yeah.
But she also doesn't necessarily want to abolish the high tide thing. She's like, she knows that has to be a balance.
So success here is that you get to modify the pipes to make permafrost unnecessary.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll for me.
Oh God. 3.
That's a 3.
Oh boy, you did.
So narrate for me why this goes wrong. How the problem escalates because of what
So
you've done.
I think she kind of just comes at a bad time.
yeah, this is not the time.
She shows up with her binder for her meeting at the scheduled time,
Okay, go ahead.
and
Spencer's
you know
putting the
riots
on top.
have just happened. Cascade's like trying to deal with like the diplomats and everything, and poor Seven, Miss Malarkey, comes in with her binder to explain like the beauty of the pattern and how glorious it is, and how this would like help bring like balance and even more food and all of this. And it's just like they're like, this thing just went down with Niall, like it's a PR nightmare. And to like, what, change the pipes now? Are you kidding me? Yeah. No, this is not a good time. It's like almost like it's the worst kind of dismissal too, because it's just like not a good time is not even like, you're not even like, you might believe it, but it's just like, man, like it's the thing
dismissed.
like unbelieving. At least there's a way. It was like, maybe I could convince you, but like this is almost like I kind of believe you, but we just can't do anything about it right now. It's already this is a mess.
Yeah.
I feel like that feels worse than
It does. Yeah.
than like complete like disbelief.
So go ahead and create an aspect that reflects that.
Politically, her idea is politically not in favor right now.
Yeah.
The pattern. I'm just gonna call it the pattern.
Okay. The pattern is not politically in favor. So I actually have a similar thing. So I'm trying to. The Steam has a pattern. He is predictable. So my goal here is that we cover up that you've discovered this.
Okay,
So
I'm
you're
gonna say
trying to
politically
shift
viable.
it.
It's not
Okay,
politically
yeah.
viable right now.
So I'm trying to cover up that you've discovered this, and that's part of the reason why they turn you down is because they don't want people knowing that there is a pattern.
Right.
Because this is the will of the gods, not some science malarkey, Miss Malarkey, Miss Seven Malarkey. Yeah, where do you think that goes? Probably somewhere between state has a pattern.
Because it has to do with the permafrost
So
and
like,
the thing.
I think right here.
Okay.
That's perfect. Okay, so success here would look like we keep this pattern under wraps, and it does not get out.
Okay.
That this is a thing. That the steam is not the will of the gods.
Secondary question before you roll.
Sure.
Are the mollusks still locked up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't established that they aren't. So.
Okay. Fuck, you succeed.
Wow,
God damn it.
with a 5.
God damn it.
That is a 5. So yes. So steam has a pattern. The heat is predictable. And this is. So
Do
what
they
happen-
take my binder? Or they just ignore me?
No, I think it's worse. I think they relegate you to only stay underground with the pipes. They basically say, we've created this home for you. You're now living down here and taking care of the pipes. So nobody
So I'm
who
more
is
like I've like
involved
kind of
in the
been I've become
pipes-
like an engineer almost. Like I'm
Yes.
just like a pipe. I'm a pipe fitter.
Yeah, and so all the people that are involved with the pipes now, they all have to live underground.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't want, because what you found is true, and everybody within the pipe industry, like the
They're
steam
they're
industry,
relatively
they're
aware, of it, but like they knew, like, but they couldn't figure out the pattern.
Right, and now you found the pattern. Well, but like you found the pattern, you spread it, and then your boss saw it and was like, "Yeah, this is true." But when you and your boss brought it to us, we were like, "Yeah, that's great. We've built you this facility underground. Go and do your thing there," and that's keeping you from talking to the outside world.
God
So
damn it.
the steam, what would
That's
you
where
call
the mold is the most. Like, I mean, it's part of the job of, I want to say, like, the pipe fitters is to also make sure the mold stays away.
Yeah, pipe fitters.
Union. I think that's a real thing. I think pipe fitters union is legitimately a real
Yeah.
thing.
Relegated to the underground.
Oh, it's so hot. It's so hard to be tidy.
Okay, there we go. That is going.
But you succeeded, so that means there's no extra.
I don't have to add a die, no. Luis, you're up.
All right.
What does success look like here?
Success is I'm able to make contact.
Yeah,
with him.
With him.
And he accepts my proposal.
Yep.
All right, here we
Oh
go.
boy, here we go.
6.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow, we've
That's
had
actually
so
kind
many
of great.
Successes.
Yes, very good. So I talk to him. He hears me out. I tell him all the things I've been doing underneath, and to let him know that I actually know a little bit more
Right.
about the city than Niles did. That Niles was just,
Because you're in the streets. You're in the pipes.
I'm in the streets. I know how the pipes work. I know how everything works, and I know how to bring it down. Yeah.
Love it. So go ahead and write an aspect that reflects that, or we can. No, I think it's a new aspect. I don't think we're modifying one that's already out or replacing one that's already out.
So
Oh
just,
man. I'm in the fucking on this, like, my character's not very happy.
No.
It's just man, all the frizz.
Yeah.
It's
a
just
lot
like
of
it's just
frizz.
the big puff of hair.
new contact with or
You could.
Do you want to name the contact now that you have gotten
Yeah.
direct contact?
oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's a good idea. Do you want to pick a name?
Sure, yeah. I'll pick it from the list.
Here's a bunch of names if you want to just pick a name.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, his name is Wade. His name is Wade. He's not gonna tell me his full name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's
Mr.
waiting in the
Wade.
waters.
yeah.
That's all the names
Wade.
in the opulent tides.
Oh, they're water things?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
I purposely made them like very. So it's like Arwen, Ariel, Asteria, Born, Calypso, Cascade, Caspian, Corelia, Delphine, Delta, Firth,
Cool.
Haley, Hurley, Kai, Morgan, Narita, Nile, Ripley, Talise,
Nice.
Thames, Wade. and
Nice,
Sarah.
nice, nice.
Contact with Wade.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think making sure that we remember the context there, right? So it's contact with Wade, but what is that? What's the bigger picture? What is that doing?
To
the permafrost can
contact with Wade to further bring down Icarus.
To
continue the permafrost shortage.
Yes. I just want to make sure we understand what the implications of that continued contact are, right?
Oh, I accidentally named 7 after. Like I was like, how do I? I was like 7 Seas.
7 Seas is so good.
So that's why her name is 7.
That's fantastic.
It fits.
So yeah, so you've made contact with him. So maybe there's something to address there next time. Something you can do. All right. So play then returns to me. I am first player now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put a die on something I want to change. Oh boy, lots of things for me to address. Those diplomats being hurt is bad.
Well, you stifled the pattern getting out.
I did. I stopped that. Now Ripley, I think that where's the riots?
Over
that's
there.
here. That's this thing. I think I need to stop the riots. Like my whole thing is festivals and celebrations, and this is the opposite.
Yeah. This
of what
is
I'm about.
Bad PR.
So I'm trying to. I'm basically shutting down the riots. I'm instituting success. We'll talk about it, but like I'm basically trying to institute a curfew citywide right now. That is like you only leave. There are only certain times in which you can leave.
Okay.
For only, I think, no, because I'm trying to heal the divide between the two because it's the leaders. I was gonna say only for the low tiders, but I think that it's for everybody. I think that I'm trying to just get the city back on track.
Yeah.
So I am locking the city down for a little bit. Okay, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna draw a card. Great, perfect, awesome. A residential part of the city has been quarantined. What caused it, and how have they kept the quarantined citizens from leaving? So yeah, so there's a couple things here. I mean, we could quarantine. You know what? This is really. I want to pitch an idea. The idea is not that the citizens are being kept from leaving, but that the diplomats and celebrities who came have been quarantined.
Oh no!
For their own safety, they're being kept in an area. But I'm basically trying to hide the fact that some of them were killed. So I'm we're putting them over there. You guys are hanging out over here, but they're literally quarantined with no contact to the outside.
Do you use the excuse of the bats to do it? Like maybe.
Oh yeah, I think this riot and them getting killed was enough, but maybe to the outside world, it's like for their own safety. Well, everybody thinks they're legendary creatures, so I think.
Well, do we have? I mean, what if like since we did send people over to go inspect the boiling waters?
Maybe we use that as
what they've it was confirmed, or sightings were confirmed or something in a way that's just like it's not. It has to be like, or maybe it still needs to be confirmed before it's safe.
I was gonna say, I think a more nefarious option is interesting. Where like we sent people out, so there is talks that these things might exist, and I'm using that as a cover to basically say like, oh, we're putting you guys into a safe house to keep you safe. We've had some sightings of these things. Yeah. You know, they're known to be dangerous. We haven't had them for a long time, and we're still gonna allow you like. You can still send letters and stuff out, but the letters are all intercepted and everything is cut off.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Because I don't want it getting out.
But they're kept weirdly comfortable.
Yeah, no, totally.
You know?
They're kept totally comfortable. I don't want it getting out that like their biggest celebrity has died.
Right.
Wow. You killed Beyonce?
Yeah, I killed Beyonce.
Fuck, that's fucked up.
So diplomats and celebrities.
Wow.
Are quarantined. Luis, if you want to start thinking about what you want to put your die on, I'll write this out.
Okay. Yeah. So I think my concern, and I'm open to suggestions, is I want to form a coalition of people to go in and break the pipes as if we're mollusks, but we're not.
Interesting.
Near the center core, because I think from our perspective, I said, listen, there's a study that's been coming out that says they can figure it out. They can figure out the pipe system without the permafrost. We can do the permafrost and
See, yeah, my character's little like because of this would probably be more inclined to be like, well, if I can't get them to listen to me, we have to get rid of the permafrost because then they'll have to listen to me because we can't use it anymore. Yeah. So like our sides weirdly are like starting to sync up.
Yeah. So let's play with that.
And so I know that there's a shortage happening. I mean that it doesn't matter if the permafrost.
Maybe you know some of the underground folks, like you have contacts with them.
Yeah.
And that's how you got the information. Because I'm down there just preaching the thing of like, there's a fucking pattern, and like I'm showing people like the little bits that I can show about the pattern in the piping, and like. Maybe some of the underground people are also mollusks too. Like it's like not all of them are rounded up,
right?
You know, but so like they believe like of the pattern and stuff, and it's just like there's a group that's like, yeah, we don't need this permafrost shit.
Yeah, I think there was a point where I couldn't get close to the pipes. You know, it was very locked up, and the permafrost. If we cut that off, that's how we succeeded. But since your study came in, now we're just gonna fuck up the pipes, I guess. I don't know.
So just so I understand, so you're saying that you
because I thought your goal is you don't want the permafrost.
Well, I think the
supply to be
really we wanted the pipe. Why did we want to cut the permafrost? We wanted to cut the permafrost because if there's no permafrost, there's no regulating the pipes.
Right.
You know.
But I'm still saying, we could regulate the pipes. Oh, so we're still opposed.
Well,
but for different reasons.
But I think what you're saying is if nobody's going to listen, we have to mess up the pipes until they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
right?
I'm at that point too.
So maybe you're putting your die on there, and so one of the things you can do in this game is you can team up to tackle a problem. So if you put
even though we have this differing ideologies,
because
like
at some point you're gonna want to repair the pipes and restructure them. And
my goal is still to like to manage the temperature of everything. Right. You don't want that to happen at all.
No, absolutely
However,
not.
Right now we both want some pipes broken.
Yeah, and I want it, and I'm gonna keep going until they just fall apart and the whole city breaks down.
So basically what we're saying is you go to the the pipe fitters? You go to the pipe fitters.
Right. And
you say they've relegated you down here. We're going to break some pipes, but under the guise of
how about if my character hears about this, figure out a way to tell, because my goal is to protect the citizens. I don't want the pipes just broken willy-nilly because people could get hurt.
Right.
I just want to make the higher ups and the goddesses in particular uncomfortable as fuck, and but I don't want anyone hurt. So what if we want to break some pipes, but I'm like, okay, these are the ones you could break that will cause some chaos, but no one's gonna get hurt, regular people.
Well, I have a team. I have some recruiters that are willing to help because there are a lot of pipes, and not all of your pipe fitters are going to be able to get it done. So I'm going to have to recruit some of the people at the dock that are going to come and help me.
Okay.
So
you basically let them in down there. So
I have a huge resource of people that can come down. It's almost like triple the amount of people you have. That's why
Damn.
I can really make a difference with you. We can really work together. I got the people, just
Okay.
Yeah.
We can make this happen.
Okay, so you're putting that there. That's great. And then I'm gonna hand you this.
Oh no.
Here's your card.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ha ha ha. All right. Does that make sense? Does this all make sense? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think so. I
know my motivation has shifted a bit, but I feel like that.
I think if we think of it like a TV show, right? Like these are all episodes of every round is an episode of a TV show.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've been imagining it. Yeah. Oh shit, these two sides. Have different
if we imagine
goals.
that's the thing, right? Your thing is to bring down Icarus. You need to break the pipes to do it, but you don't have access to them, and you don't know which ones to break to make the best effect. So you go to the pipe fitters, including her, who's now mad at the government, and you say, hey, you hear that, you're like, I want to help you sort of get the attention.
What if the pipes that I tell you to break make it so that the main tower hits the highest note?
Yeah.
And scares the shit out of people.
Yeah. That's great.
That's good.
Cool.
While we do that, we're going to break some other pipes you told us not to break.
Well, I mean, sure, but but this is me not telling you the pipes that I told you to break is going to cause
so we'll make the noise and you think everything's fine, but actually, no, it's not going to be fine.
Right. This works.
An outside force tries to invade the city. Who are they? What is the purpose of this invasion?
I feel like it's those people coming for those diplomats.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'm pretty
guess
sure
that makes
most governments
sense.
would be like, we want our diplomats back. We
Yeah,
haven't
that's
heard
good.
from them.
And I think it's interesting if we tie that into the group that you are representing. So they are diplomats and celebrities from there.
Yeah.
And that's the group that has basically wanted Icarus to fall.
Right.
Because they're...
So now we're getting it from both fronts.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so they come to take back their people.
The Northwest.
Yeah. The Northwest comes in to take back their diplomats and celebrities. Because they haven't heard from them. So they're like,
Oh, yeah.
where are they?
What is the Southeast doing?
Chilling.
But their celebrities and people are there too.
Yeah.
Maybe
but maybe they
Northwest
weren't
makes
the
the
ones
first
who were
move.
Yeah. I think the Northwest makes the first move. Because they're the ones who are the most hostile, right?
Yeah.
If our government's like, oh, yeah, they're fine. They're totally
Yeah, yeah. I
fine.
was
They're
like, yeah, I
here.
guess. Okay.
They're just in a... Yeah, we had a little bit of a thing. And they're
Southwest
And
also
I'm
really
like-
doesn't like those bats either. Like, oh,
Yeah,
let's
like,
keep those
no.
bats up the fuck there.
Okay, so yeah, Northwest comes to take back their diplomats and celebrities. That's going here. That is not a good situation for me. But that's something for a different time. Let's jump over to you, Star.
Okay.
What do you think you want to change?
Okay, so since I'm under Luis's group has already like started the breaking of the pipes.
So what you could do is you could say, no, that hasn't happened yet. He
Okay.
said that he wants to. He's coming to you to do that.
Right.
In order to succeed at doing that, you could put a die on the same aspect and say,
Oh,
we're going
yes.
to team up to do this. You get to roll both die, and if one of them succeeds, it is a success.
Okay.
So we have, even if I fail, if you roll it, then so we have really
Okay, yeah,
almost
I'm into
quadruple
this.
success, right?
I'm
Quadruple
into
chance, right?
that.
Yeah, so you're gonna put it the same, and so you're gonna try and get some pipes broken.
Okay.
That's the goal. And then you're
Break
gonna
them
drop
pipes. It's the final hours. Oh God. In an attempt to save themselves from an upcoming catastrophe, many of the citizens have secretly been building safety shelters. What interesting or unique place have they decided to build these shelters, and what major danger have they faced while doing it? I want to say that the mollusks, because they've always been trying to change the pipes and stuff, not doing it well, but they know like it's getting too hot, so they're trying to like adjust on their own, but they're kind of doing it randomly, willy-nilly. But I want to say some of the like maybe more prominent mollusk group people have been trying to make these shelters. I don't know where they would be though,
yeah, that's interesting.
because we already said undergrounds for the pipes.
There's an interesting thing here too that we can pitch that is that are the bats.
Oh, maybe the bats aren't as actually evil.
No, I was gonna say what I was gonna pitch you, and feel free to not take it. But when I read that, my initial thought was that
the bats are winter's coming.
Yes.
Oh shit.
And because we said because we locked up the diplomats and the celebrities saying it's because of the bats. It
Oh
got
shit.
out.
Okay, yeah. I like that way better. I like
Okay.
that way better. Yeah.
Now
Tight,
everybody's
tight,
like,
tight.
oh, the bats are coming. That's why we locked them. We quarantined them.
Very good.
Now we have to start building shelters because these things are coming.
Okay, where would they still build the shelters though? I mean, would they be trying to go up? Because it's
The bats are up.
the bats like the steam, so they're
Yeah.
trying to build places that don't have steam.
Did they build shelters around the iceberg? Did they build like their own?
The iceberg's just
underwater-
there. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
permanent iceberg. It's
It's a perm-
permafrost. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an idea.
I'm trying to think of like maybe, because I'm trying to think of like what if you're afraid of the bats, you don't want steam around you, but that's hard because you live literally in an
What if
island
it's
full
just
of steam.
underwater?
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they make it's like so much glass and stuff. There's people who make
Yeah.
like these glass like domes.
Yeah, like underwater domes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Into it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me grab that.
Oh yeah.
And the major danger they face while doing it, like that's fucking hard. That's the danger. That's hard.
Yeah. Is the
Glass can crack underwater,
yeah,
and then you're fucked.
people have drowned.
Yeah.
Trying to do it. That's the
Or like
danger.
weird pressure situation too. Like
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
Okay. People make underwater domes. I want you guys to hear the sound of the writing. Domes.
And then after this, you're gonna roll
To hide from bats.
right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put a die on the tower since
Then
I'm first
you-
player. Then I'm gonna roll.
Got it.
And then you two will
This
roll.
would be, I guess, toward the riots and the conspiracy stuff.
Yeah, and probably towards the iceberg as well. So maybe it just goes here. Because where are the riots? Oh, the riots are here. So maybe it goes like here. That's fine. Because it's also bats.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Lots of things going on.
This is a really fun TV show.
It's a crazy TV show. There's a lot.
I would watch the fuck out of the show.
Imagine like just the scene of everybody of the chaos from them announcing that the bats are a thing. And
I'm just honestly, I just immediately went to like crew and like trying to figure out. I'm like, how do you light this with all the steam? I was like, oh man, the poor makeup and hair people trying to like somehow not have frizzy hair but also make it look glamorous.
Right.
This is a TV show. I just went immediately into production.
Also, like having it underwater, have them build underwater domes and like how they would do that because they have to be in tanks.
That would be all like weird CGI, and it's just like, do we have like good budget?
Do we have the budget for that? No, we don't have the budget for that. It's gonna. We're gonna just.
If it does well this season, we'll get bigger.
We'll get bigger budget.
Yeah. This is
so we just show like a flash of it outside, and then we go inside and just light the whole dome with blue lights.
Yeah, this is us living in LA, just immediately going like, what a great idea for a show. How do you make it?
No, this is what I do every single time we play this game. We're like, this would be such a cool show. It's just like, I don't know. It's like it feels like a whole season of a TV show, and that's what I really like about it. Is it feels like I'm in a writer's room, but I'm not just writing an episode.
Yeah.
We're writing like a whole show, which is what I
cool.
love. Anyway, I'm gonna add a die to the tower. I'm gonna move the microphone to do that because it's right in front of me, and I messed up the last one because I was trying to go under the mic.
I saw that, and you let go a little too early.
Yep,
so there's going to be a technique to this now. So not only do you have to get rid.
Okay, my microphone is. I'm gonna swing it out the other way.
Not only do you need to make sure be clever.
This is why I didn't want to do. I was like, I don't want to be a dice.
You have to be
topper.
very careful.
He's placing it on the thing.
He's using.
Oh shit!
Oh God!
It's not exactly.
I'm trying to counterbalance.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do.
Oh baby, I think this is gonna last 3 more.
Okay,
Maybe
actually.
4.
Okay, so
this is an 8-episode season.
Yeah. This is a short. This is a half. What's it called?
This is a mini series.
It's a mini series. That's what it is. Okay. So I put my die on. Was it right here? Yeah, it was right here on the high tide riding against Niall's prosecution, hurt diplomats and celebrities. They've been taken away, so I'm gonna try and break up that riot. And I'm gonna try and convince them. Let's see. What am I trying to do here? Because I'm trying to protect the leaders. So I'm trying to get everybody back to this 2-party system.
What are the leaders doing right now?
Well, I think that the two sisters are in a. I think that the low tide sister still doesn't believe the high tide sister that she wasn't involved in this coup.
I want to say, okay, for like that scene where that happened, where high tide sister, ends up banishing her man into the boiling waters. I want to say the low tide sister instigated it, in the sense of like
you wouldn't do that if
they're like, are you sure you're not involved? And and kind of like suggests the boiling waters to see if the sister would go with it, and she ends up going with it.
So is the guy dead?
Yeah,
he's dead.
Okay.
He's like
DED dead.
What's the Irish food where you boil the meat with the cabbage?
I don't know.
It's really tasty.
Tweet at us. Let us know what that is.
It's like you boil a thing. It's like anyway, that's what I just imagined. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's real bad. Okay, so I'm trying to get success here would look like order is restored between the high and low tide.
Do you ever try to like settle the fight between the sisters? Is there
no that the fight between them is
like you ever try to calm them down too?
So no, and I think the reason why is because, and this actually plays really well into this. I say this is the sisters fight so that we don't have to. That is their job.
Okay.
So I'm trying to remind the people to let the sisters fight, and that they are brothers, and they are a family, and that that we do not fight because it is up to them to do that fighting for us.
I dig it.
secondary question.
Sure.
Did the sisters ever even get the information about the pattern, or did?
Yeah, no, they did. They dismissed it. Because they didn't want. They collectively decided that it was against their better judgment to let people know that that the gods.
Okay.
Not
I
be
just wanted
real.
to be like, okay, like, is it? I'm trying to figure out if my character's rebelling.
Rolling.
What she's rebelling.
Wow.
You were successful.
You were successful.
You had really good luck.
I've rolled a success, I think, every time except for one. Okay, yeah. So what happens here is I'm able to bring the high and low tide people back together.
Wow.
So this riot.
I have
ends.
hope
Where is
in
it?
this
I don't wanna
city, but no matter what, it's gonna
my character's
fall.
still kind of bitter though, because it's like you dismissed the data.
Okay, so I'm getting rid of that, and I'm saying the high and low tide are brought together
As
in
a viewer, I have hope.
Oh,
As a viewer, I
This
have
is the
hope.
moment. This is the moment where Cascade shows her worth,
yeah.
right? Like she goes amongst the people and she says, like, we celebrate together. We celebrate both the high and the
Yeah.
low tide together, no matter what side we're on. We have these festivals together. Let the sisters fight. We have more important dealings, we have more important business to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay, so my aspect is gonna be is basically gonna reflect that. So why don't we have you guys roll while I write this?
Okay.
You guys, who wants to roll? Because somebody leads that roll. You're gonna roll them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So it's one time.
So both of you describe success. What success would look like for your
Success
character.
for me is that the pipes are broken in a way where the highest note
Right.
goes off, which signals how hot it really is getting. Like it's
Right.
it's almost like an evacuation note.
Okay. Yeah.
Like-
we have to agree on the same goal, right, Spencer?
You have to agree on the same thing that you want, but success can look different for both of you.
I will say, because for me,
Because
it's
pipes
like
are being broken. That's what
Yeah.
we know
That's what-
success
yeah.
if this,
but-
I want to say like it's very rare in history that note has been hit, and it has been
Right.
before. And usually, what ends up happening is that triggers like a temporary evacuation from the island, and then inspectors have to come up from the underground to go inspect the pipes and fix the
Yeah.
system, and like it forces people to readjust the piping.
Very good.
So that's what
Then
I'm
yes.
trying to do, is to force
If
them
that-
to readjust
If
the
that's
pipes.
the protocol, then yeah, I agree with you.
So I'm trying to trigger a protocol. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, what does
within-
success look like for...
Well, once the protocol's been triggered, that's when I can make my move.
Yeah, because there's less people on the island. There's
Right.
the majority of the island has to evacuate,
So
including the sisters for safety.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I
feel
think
like the
that-
sisters have to stay.
I think that we basically keep...
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. I was going to institute that was what I was saying I was going to do, was institute a curfew, but I don't want to do that.
We
I
already
think
have
this
a
is better.
curfew.
Yeah, but literally like a thing that says you cannot leave unless you are...
shit.
Oh well, this is gonna force.
That's not what I ended up doing. That wasn't... I was trying to remember what I wanted to do there, but I think this is better. Like, narratively, this is more interesting that she shows her worth.
Yeah.
Okay. So success here is that pipes are broken and the city has to go into lockdown. Sort of.
Well, evacuate because it's too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot. Like it's a danger. It's like potentially when it hits that
so it's
note.
basically like inciting chaos.
Yeah, it's inciting chaos, and like maybe when I mean evacuate, maybe there's like safety like ships that go offshore, not like far away, but offshore enough so that the engineers can come from underground and fix the situation.
Sure. So
of
maybe
the
people are
piping.
taken off by boats if this works.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Let's
It's
roll.
like a hurricane thing. Like you
Yeah.
have to go to the shelters that are off
Yeah.
shore a little bit, and maybe like the secret people go into their like tubes or whatever.
Sure.
And I don't really know much about them. Okay, so we're looking for at least 1 5 and 1 6.
1 5 or 6 on
please.
either of the die.
God damn it!
That is a 3 and a 4.
So what happens? Did you put both of them on the tower?
Yes.
But
No!
wait. So if we've had a 1 5 or 1 6, we don't have to put anything on the tower.
No, you would put
But
the
since
one
we-
that failed on the tower, and then you would but you
Luis,
would have a success.
You're trying to do the.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, it's got to be.
So
me.
let's describe how this failure escalates.
Here, you can do that, Star, while I try to put this on.
Maybe the tower explodes.
Well, the tower hasn't fallen yet.
Oh, this is the okay.
It might explode. Let's see what happens. But let's describe what what before the tower falls. Let's describe what.
I find out that your group is actually bursting more pipes than I had set out to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work.
Right.
But it causes like a major, like
Loss of steam, kind of.
Ooh, loss of steam is good. That's different.
Like the steam is now suddenly escaping all over the island.
Yeah.
So
And like
steam is running.
so things that are, I mean, there's still chaos, but it's the type of chaos that unfortunately does not protect my citizens.
Yeah.
Because
That's
like
not good.
Yeah, because like it's just like things aren't functioning because you need the steam to like control like it controls so much of the city.
This is so
there's
good.
no steam.
This is so good. Okay, so imagine this. Just what you're describing there is such a cool moment for like a season, or not season finale, but for like for an episode finale, right? So there's this moment where like Cascade gives this rousing speech where she brings the high and low tide people together, and there's like a moment of calm between them, and then the pipes break,
and all the steam is gone.
it's just like boom, and the steam just like explodes on the island, and then it just goes low pressure.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is out well because I don't think this is gonna last.
Okay, you want to go ahead and write that?
Oh God, there's the too many pipes break.
Too many pipes break. Steam is being lost rapidly.
Steam is gone.
Wow, the dice. Ooh. Okay.
These dice are pretty good. These dice stack pretty high. So
I mean, like that, like this is how people regulate heat. Like whatever hospitals rely on the steam.
yeah, bad.
Like this is very bad. This is very bad.
Infrastructure of the city is fallen.
Poor Seven is having like a crisis of just magnitude right now.
Okay, I'm sorry, camera. I can't.
Do what you got to do to save this tower, Luis.
Wait, I want them to be able to see if the tower falls, though.
Can they see?
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, shit,
That's good.
This is hard. Okay.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Okay, I gotta
Okay.
make sure I can open myself up, but also.
You can put your elbow on the table. That might help. I don't know if that helps.
It does. Son of a bitch. Okay.
One of them. One is done.
That's a technique. Put
Yeah,
your-
elbow on the table.
Okay.
He's going for it.
He's lowering the die.
His hand lowers down onto the tower.
Carefully.
He lines up.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
But this city is not in good shape.
Oh no.
So where should that go?
Too many pipes break. Well, by the steam, by the pipes.
Oh,
by,
yeah,
all
for
the
sure.
Pipes being broken, all this stuff.
Oh my God.
But now there's no steam. Like imagine
Yeah.
like it's just so nothing is functioning. So like the food's about to die.
Yeah.
Like
There are
say like maybe this
bad
was right
things
before a
happening.
maybe this festival was like
Right
in tune
before
with
the
a harvest.
Yeah.
It's the harvest festival, like
It's the
in
harvest
in
festival.
fucking Parks and Rec.
Yeah. And all the steam has now escaped, and it's
So
just
now like we're risking like famine
Yeah.
and like
oh,
but
no.
wait, if the steam is all gone.
the heat drops.
Wait, so does that mean the bats don't show up? It's like, well, we got rid of the bat problem because there's no steam for the bats.
I think that it's still warm, right? But like
It's
we
still-
don't know. The bats haven't shown up at all. The
No.
bats have just been this legendary creature that hasn't shown up. And so that's interesting too, right? Like
That is very interesting.
it is a thing that is looming over all of us,
Did the
but has
steam?
not.
Did this? I want to say like I want to mix a little bit of the people making the underground shelters with the glass, the domes.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe somehow it was accidentally redirected into those.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
So it hurts people, but also like that's why like it's being redirected into like these domes.
Yeah. It's just spreading underground.
Yeah.
It's like spreading out farther or
So
something.
it's still really dangerous because it's not
Yeah.
really being released properly. It's building up in these domes.
Yeah.
And let's say like since she's an engineer, she's with the engineers, and they
Yeah.
figure this out, and they figure out that if those pipes break, it's going to release so much steam that maybe those bats show up.
Yeah, it's gonna create fractures.
We'll see what happens.
So if the steam, if the steam is gone, does that mean certain things aren't working anymore?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's like
infrastructure.
infrastructure's fucked right now.
yeah, it's a bad situation. So that is, where is that? That's here, right?
Yeah.
Steam is gone. Infrastructure is failing, which is what you want.
That's what I want.
Yeah. So you kind of got what you wanted,
Yeah.
but like not in the way you want. Because here's the thing, like I think
It was a blessing in disguise.
I still want it to fuck you guys up too, because maybe because you're.
Maybe I lost my second-hand man. Maybe he died.
I-
Somebody who I loved
I think that
died
in
in the crash.
I think it's interesting. I think narratively, it's interesting. Yeah, if the people that were breaking the pipes, they weren't trained in they weren't trained in
Right?
pipe
No, not
fitting.
at all.
So when they broke them, they exploded, and you lost.
my second-hand,
Okay.
my
you
close
lost
friend.
You lost like your friends.
Yeah.
I wanted to tie it into like whoever the people paying you. I'm curious if they had an alternate motive with the steam itself too.
Oh, interesting.
Like they don't want the permafrost because they wanted the steam for something, and now there's no steam. So it's like, yeah, well now we don't need permafrost because there's no thing to regulate. But
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
like I wanted the extra reason, like because we know they're paying you because they wanted to
Right.
stop. They wanted to stop the regulation of the steam.
Yeah.
But I think it's because they wanted more steam. I don't know why. But now there's no steam.
Maybe the steam.
Because it has to fail for you too.
No, wait, okay, so what about this algae business? Remember the algae grows because
with a regulated.
with the regulated pipes in the steam, right? So if those aren't regulated, then it fucks the algae, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about?
no, it's-
okay.
What
exactly
if
what
the algae? What if the algae, like if it's not kept at a certain temperature, it becomes dangerous?
Oh, interesting. But how does that still affect his?
I'm just
thing?
trying to substitute your thing
I'm trying
about
to think-
instead of them needing steam, maybe they need algae.
Oh,
I
but
don't
they were
know.
trying
Maybe
to
we're
keep it
getting
from
lost.
being regulated, so that would have.
Because
You're right,
if it's
you're
kept
right,
from being
you're right.
regulated, and maybe the algae
You're right.
without the regulation turns into something nefarious, and they want the nefarious situation to happen.
Either that, or they are also they want the market on
Yeah,
this food.
exactly. They're developing. They have their own
Oh,
algae they're
okay,
developing.
okay,
So they
yeah,
want to
yeah,
just
yeah.
completely crush this.
But yeah, so I think that's interesting. That's interesting because then they're trying to crush.
But they're
the
still
market.
getting what they want with if there's no steam. I'm trying to
Right.
figure out how the no steam pisses them
Well,
off.
I think it's kind of like they get a commission for having this trade. There's taxes that happen to keep, I don't know, this port alive, this island alive. But I think that they can trade without the island now. I think they can just trade straight with the Southeast without going to the island. Maybe there's a new technology that allows them to do that. I don't know.
I have another pitch.
Okay.
What if they want the island?
What if they want the island? What if they
And the
need someone-
value within the island is like they deregulate it so they could come in, buy the island, and re-regulate it again.
They
Right.
want it. They're basically using it to clear everybody off the island to level the island, and then they're gonna come in and pave it and tax it.
Right, they're gonna get their
But then they're still getting what they want. This is supposed to be a fail.
I think this fundamentally like degrades the island.
Icarus falls, the civilization falls, but this northwest country
Okay.
still survives.
So I think the pitch here, right? So to make it something bad for you too,
Yeah.
is that the physical land and like the thing that makes
Yes.
Icarus so great is now like the steam has
The value of
bursted
the
through
island. The
ground.
value of the island is less.
Yeah, the steam is now bursting through the ground because the pipes have been broken and
Right.
things are being
So
like,
they don't want it as much anymore.
It's
It's
like-
really fucked them
I
up.
really don't want to destroy
there
the
are
island.
like, oh, what if there's what if it's like causing earthquakes now and like the island is
Yeah, because it's like
breaking
you were
apart.
depending on a certain consistent pressure, and that pressure's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. So
Right.
the island is now
Degrading.
falling apart. So why don't we add that?
Okay.
Island is falling apart.
Steam is gone.
because
island falling apart.
also on the side note, the Northwest, they've got boots in the ground here, right? They've already got people.
Yeah.
Ooh, be careful
careful.
with the whole
with the writing.
With the writing.
Nice and slow.
They've already got boots in the ground, so once protocol kicks in and everybody leaves, then they can theoretically have their soldiers come in and
Right.
kind of
Yeah, do their thing. But
Throw-
if
throw the
the
government
whole
over.
island is
falling apart.
collapsing,
Then
There's literally an evacuation going on. Right
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so why don't you put your die on something that you want to change?
Okay. Oh.
now. Guys, I think my character's gonna turn evil.
I'm gonna look
You're
at
trying to protect the citizens.
I'm gonna look at the floor plan.
That's the
here.
thing. It's like when it's protecting the citizens, sometimes you do things that are not as that are for the greater good,
Yeah.
but not always. You're trying. Yeah, your character doesn't think it's evil,
No, it's just she's just. Woo!
but yeah, it's a gray area. For
I
sure.
have it where it's just like because she's also I want to say she's like the whole tying into the whole like she has this pattern, she believes the pattern is divine. She's becoming more of a zealot, where it's like almost like the goddesses are she believes that the goddesses are speaking through the pattern and not necessarily the two sisters.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of thing, because clearly if they were listening, they would listen to the pattern because that's how it would speak, like that.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, like that's why all this is happening, where like she's like, well, we got to break the pipes, which is kind of also like, why are you breaking? That's also like not part of your, but it's like going into that zealousy, and I'm trying to figure out how that, with everything collapsing, how she would turn that, still trying to protect the citizens, but also almost becoming more of a zealot.
Yeah.
And
that's tough. So
maybe she turns into like, we don't need any pipes.
Right.
Oh my God.
Like.
But if we don't have any pipes, then.
But it turns into protecting the citizens in a way that's like almost like we all will go to heaven when like the thing, like it kind of like that kind of thing, where it's just like,
sure.
Oh shit.
That devolving into taking a completely different.
Like the citizens are off the island. The island needs to not exist because the island itself, with all the pipes are an abomination. Like she's turning into that.
Right.
In a weird turn of events, let's see, because Niles wanted me to overturn. I mean, sorry, not Niles. Yeah, Wade wanted me to create chaos so they can come in and overtake the island. The island's falling apart now. I either need to repair the island.
Is Wade on the island?
Nope. Wade is not on the island.
Wade's off the
island.
Wade's off the island. So I either need to repair the things that I fucked up on. I need to find refuge because the island's falling apart. Right? Is that what's happening? Is the island?
The island is starting to degrade.
It's starting to degrade.
I think, and it's interesting because like Wade is probably is like gotten in contact with you and is like, I didn't tell you to destroy the place. I told you to break the pipe so that I told you to like get the people off of the island.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to destroy the island. We want that.
I mean, so yeah, I guess
you should have been more specific, Wade.
I really feel like I'm going back and forth. I feel like I need to fix the pipes.
Oddly enough, yeah.
I need to somehow quell all this steam that's going.
You need to follow the pattern.
Thinking about what your character's good at, right? And safety, and like you're part of the docks, right? So like, what could you do?
Regulating and bringing things in and knowing what comes in through the dock.
Yeah. So do you? Yeah.
Maybe bringing in supplies that we need to help regulate just the island from falling apart.
What if you move the iceberg?
But why?
But like, if somehow moving it, because like the steam's gone, the heat's being dissipated, so you're trying to melt the iceberg to create steam in a way to like reset, almost to like reset the system in a weird way.
But I feel like the island falling apart is so much. There's so much more happening with the island falling apart.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying this is a good idea. I'm just saying maybe from what's your character's name? Barry?
Windleberry.
Windleberry. I'm just gonna call you Barry. Okay. That's where my brain goes. It's a matter of just convincing Wade that you're getting it fixed. It doesn't have to actually be fixed.
That's interesting.
So if you bring the iceberg over and it melts and creates steam, it looks like the island's back to normal.
Well, I also think just trying to convince Wade that you're
doing it good.
That you're fixing things is interesting too. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things, right? Like,
yeah, I think that's a good idea. Can I do that? Can I convince Wade that everything's okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm still formulating a plan, and honestly, once I get through this, I'll have a better idea.
I
need to bide some time.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna bide some time and just tell Wade like, I'm handling it.
Yeah.
I'm handling it.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, great. I'm gonna hand you a card.
Oh God.
Okay. The final hours. An underground group within the city starts recruiting angry citizens for a private militia. What is their cause and who's their leader? Yeah,
Me.
Can I just follow exactly what you were talking
Seven
about?
Malarkey's gonna cause some malarkey. Oh, who knew? With that name, what would happen with that character?
Where's the pad there?
I semi-missed the conversation, so if you could... I'm pretty much jumping on what you were talking about.
Yeah. So my character's becoming more and more of a zealot. And belief in this pattern, but like now it's turned into like because the island's falling apart, and it's so I'm like, and the pattern is never wrong. That must mean that it's supposed to fall apart. The pipes are bad. The pipes are actually the most unnatural thing.
So you're recruiting more people to just go tear the pipes down?
Right, so that the island could truly be part of the two tides. So nature can actually do what it's supposed to do.
So you're not even interested in restructuring the pipes anymore.
I've gone kind of off the deep end.
Oh no!
Well, because they stuffed me. They didn't listen to me. They stuffed me underground. And like it's like I'm such a like numbers and like it's like the order and structure of the world I believed in kind of like turned on me, and like because of that it's kind of like she kind of broke, especially when the steam went away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like Seven's kind of lost it.
Going a little crazy.
And
Great.
she's deciding that like essentially she's kind of trying it's almost as if she's trying to recreate the turn the island to the boiling waters part 2. Like maybe that's what originally happened to the first boiling waters. Maybe that was another island that kind of got overcome by the heat.
I'm gonna give you a die. Go ahead and put that on something that you want to change. So is there anything here that is this is kind of interesting. I mean
I want to kind of like fuck up this. I want to fuck up the system.
Be careful with the
table.
How high have you gotten it before?
I mean,
what's the
highest? It's gone as high as 15, but that's not not normal. She
knows when the next big heat bubble is coming.
Shit.
And she wants to set it up so that it does go like she knows about the domes containing the heat. She knows when there's a next kind of like surge of heat coming. She wants to even force it even. So she's breaking more pipes to force it even more in order to essentially she's going to blow shit up. You were turned. I love it. I'm Malarkey. I don't go by 7 anymore. I just go by Malarkey now.
I love it.
What's my name?
Malarkey. Another powerful city has risen up to rival Icarus in the region, and the people are escaping the city to go there instead. I'm okay with this because that protects the citizens. Who is it, and what specific resource or technology does it have that Icarus doesn't? Well, they have the permafrost, right? Or is this different?
I don't know. Let's talk about it.
I mean, I think maybe the Northwest is offering, refuge.
Yeah, like they're trying to be like, look, we're the good guys.
We're the good guys.
Yeah.
Come over here. We have the resources.
Refugees, come to our area. Let's see. Yeah, they're just escaping to go there.
Yeah, what do we think they have that Icarus doesn't?
Air conditioning. Stability.
They could have.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of tech.
I mean, maybe the celebrations have opened up them to be more like have opened them to the religion.
I was going to go the opposite way and say, hey, you relying on religion, you relying on the two sisters has led you down this path.
I see. Yeah.
We base all of our stuff on the pattern.
Oh shit. Okay, okay. Yeah.
And we base it on, we base it on
What's
evidence.
The name of the North? We never named the other country.
We never did.
The Northwest?
Yeah.
Let me see if there's a good, let's see if any of these names can be used for, Asteria is kind of cool.
Okay, Asteria. And I'm going to put Northwest in parentheses. Is accepting refugees.
Mm-hmm.
Icarus refugees. And turns and they've fine-tuned the pattern or something.
Yeah.
Or they know, I don't know.
They offer reliance on the pattern.
They offer reliance on the pattern.
Right? That's kind of the thing. Is like they're like, hey, you don't have to worry about the gods. The gods have abandoned you. The sisters have left.
It's funny. My person's like, the pattern is the gods. Like, she's just gone like, woo.
Great. Perfect.
I kind of love it. I never really played a character that goes like,
It goes
Yeah,
rogue
it's pretty
like
cool.
this. It's
like
pretty cool.
straight up, like she's not chaotic evil because there's a system, but just not okay.
Okay, now it's my turn. Oh my God, there's so many things. You know what? I'm putting on 7 leads group to tear down pipes. You have, yes, you are going against everything that I'm trying to protect. My goal is to
The sisters are the false gods.
the sisters are the gods, and they will punish those who.
The false gods. I do not fear the boiling water. The boiling waters are the natural way. Everything must become the boiling waters.
Dear God. Okay, all right. Luis, you are first player,
All right.
so you're gonna add a die
Oh
to
shit.
the tower.
Again?
Oh wait, I have to draw a card.
Yeah, you got a situation.
A prominent invention, tool, or technology suddenly becomes dangerous to the citizens who use it. What is it, and why is it a danger?
The food.
Food is interesting. Oh, you know what? I wanna bring it in. I wanna bring them in.
You want to bring in the bats?
The steam is now being released all over the island slowly instead of in like huge streams.
Okay.
And so now there's just like this rising steam that happens, and bats are starting to circle the island.
Awesome.
And we're just
Shit.
seeing their silhouettes. So
This might be the end, everybody.
Yeah, I want to say that 7 like also now believes like the bats are like the judgment.
Yeah.
oh, they're like the horse. What is it called?
Yeah.
Horseman.
Yeah.
The horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah. She's like,
The
this is
wings of the apocalypse?
This is the judgment that we have forsaken the gods in the proper way and did not listen. That's why the pipes need to go.
Could
Oh,
be
man.
the end, everybody.
Oh man.
Bats are circling the steam, threatening.
This is the end. We've reached the end.
Like
because
straight up as 7 like is this like wander like she's like embracing the steam and she's sitting on like she's like almost compelling like the
I love
heat.
your character's development. It's like it's awesome. Okay.
This is going here. Luis is going to try and stack. Its bats are circling the steam, threatening the citizens
that are
Luis
still
is-
there. I think because a good chunk have evacuated.
I think that they can see them offshore,
Yeah.
and they're going to come down and get us. Like it's even more scary if you're looking on and you see them
Oh.
like circling the island, and you're like, "That's my home, and we're supposed to go back there."
oh my god.
I can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Can you do it from? You can't do it from the other one because you're right-handed.
Yeah, right-handed. Elbow on the table. That's the key.
Oh yeah, thank you. Elbow on the table. Okay.
Until it gets too high, elbow on the table is the key.
Holy fuck!
Baby.
Holy fuck!
It's still Icarus still exists. Oh God.
Oh my god! What time is it?
It's late. But we have 3 more die. I think between these 3, it's probably gonna happen.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Oh my god!
Luis, now you have to go. You have to resolve now. I'm sorry.
I think yeah. Okay, so
You might have to stack another die
Oh my god.
if you fail.
Okay. You know, as much as I want to bring Icarus down, I really don't want to bring it actually down.
You want to
again.
bring the city down, but not the actual
Okay.
island.
So I'm gonna tell Wade, listen. I've gotten real close with this 7 person. She's gone off the deep end. I think I'm gonna kill her. And then I think we can rebuild the pipes and we can kind of create stability again. There's somebody under her who is understanding the plans. I got to get control of the situation. It's getting out of hand. That's what I'm telling him.
Okay.
And
Let's see whether he believes you or not.
Okay.
Whether he
Wait,
trusts
is
you to do
it
this.
success?
6, baby.
Wait, is success you killing me?
No. Success is that he
believes
convinces.
it.
Okay.
Wade.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
no,
like,
no.
excuse you.
Convinces Wade that he's handling the situation.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Jesus. Okay.
So what? How does this succeed? What do you think happens because of this?
I think he is going to send. I guess he's going to send permafrost to help us stabilize the.
Oh,
Oh.
he's sending it now
Yeah.
to stabilize.
Okay. Okay.
To stabilize at
It
least the
has
steam
gone
that's
in a
happening.
very weird place of
Yeah,
me.
things have turned.
I like this though. He's becoming the hero while I'm becoming the villain.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to hold my shit together. Unsuccessfully.
That's what happens when you ignore the pattern.
Oh, that's yours. We're both coming after you.
Oh yeah. I've gone nuts.
Okay, this goes deliver. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is gonna replace this.
What's great is I could use like the little bits of because I know the pattern of this thing. I could
yeah.
use the steam to escape things. Like I just know like when to hide and when to use it.
Ah.
I'm a horrible
So
terrorist.
success here is that I'm able to track down the group that are trying to tear down the pipes.
Yeah.
And I am able to. Yeah. We are able to capture you guys before you're able to destroy the entire infrastructure of the city.
Fair.
So like, if this fails,
Yeah.
the pipes are gone for good.
Okay.
The pipes are all torn down.
Excellent.
And the city is, fucked. Okay, here we go.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! That little post-it note changed it.
That's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna.
We don't need pipes anymore.
What are you gonna do? Wait? So what do you have to? You're gonna put it on there?
So I need to narrate what happens, and then I have to add it.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna get on camera.
Okay. So what happens is I send the kelp walkers after you.
But
they are running through the underground trying to catch you guys. They're like, we get these awesome scenes of like them chasing you down and you guys just busting pipes and just burning them and like blocking passages. And I think that the when they reemerge, like the pipes are just all laying in the city. Just they're all laying about the city, completely torn apart. And the
steam just leaking everywhere, just like.
So pipes are permanently.
We are going back to the natural state.
Uh-huh.
The steam must flow freely to appease the goddesses.
Okay. The pipes are permanently destroyed. That's going to replace pipes are being broken.
Oh, so then my goal. Oh yeah, my goal is to take down the goddesses at this point, right? Steam has a pattern, using the pattern. Oh yeah, because I'm trying to still explode the island. Well, if the pipes are gone, how do I explode the island?
That's up to you. Okay, which one am I adding? Oh, it's this. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm going to add it.
Okay.
Oh!
Oh. I win!
Well, that was sad. But this is interesting, right? Because the pipes are permanently destroyed, and that's when this happens.
Yeah.
So here's what I think the scene is as this falls. I think the pipes okay, this is I think this is more interesting. We come out from the underground after chasing you guys down and find you plugging the tower.
Yes.
So you've climbed to the top with your people and you have with the pipe fitters and you have just closed all of the holes. And there and as you close each hole we get this really cool moment where the pitch is getting higher and higher and higher, and everybody who's offshore in the boats, right, who have evacuated because of what's happened, because the island is falling apart, they're just hearing this high pitch scream essentially from the island itself, and we're like yelling up to you, and the two sisters, the warring sisters, have come out, and they're both for the first time the public has ever seen, they're holding hands.
Oh fuck.
And they are yelling. They are basically like yelling at you guys up there to stop. That the gods will smite you. These kinds of things. That you are that you are defying the laws of the gods. And
I want to say Seven seeing this is beautiful because now they're like the goddesses are united. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm getting what I wanted.
And and you plug that final hole,
Yes.
and the island just starts to crack and crumble, and the tower, like we saw, the top of the tower just bursts forth
See, that's awesome.
and explodes with you guys on top of
Oh
it.
yeah. I was like ready to self-sacrifice. That was all part of the.
And we get like this like just explosion of steam, and as that happens, the bats dive down into the city.
Into it.
Okay, we have 3 questions to answer.
Into it. Yes.
I think we just answered the first one, but I want to answer the other 2. I want us to answer the other 2. So what caused the tower to collapse? We got that.
We got
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we
That's
got
pretty
it.
clear.
Got it.
What happened to your character in the aftermath? You
she
had
just self-sacrificed, and she turned like. It was like the biggest explosion of heat and steam. She gets essentially she gets boiled alive.
Yeah.
She literally turned the island, at least for that moment, while the bats. She turned it kind of into like the boiling waters part 2. She repeated history. Let's say.
I love the idea that what's left of the island are just these like pieces of land jutting out in sort of a circle around the edge. Just these like large rocks and pieces, and in the center is just this boiling chasm.
Yeah. It's nature's way, you guys. It's beautiful.
What do you think happened to Barry?
Yeah, to Windleberry. At this point, I am trying to get the permafrost, right?
I think that I think before this thing happens, you're trying to get the permafrost to stop to cool down the island so that the whole thing doesn't explode, so you guys can actually use it.
Right. It's a two-way thing. I could either be in the process of trying to cool down the pipes and then it all explodes in me, or I'm by the docks in the boat.
Maybe
and then I float away to southeast.
Oh, the southeast.
Yeah, and I just kind of fade away into like,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
I was just a footnote in all this, really. Like I didn't make.
I like the idea of like somehow you trying to bring the permafrost in time. But this is me also.
I do narratively like you trying to fix it at the end.
Yeah,
because you've been trying to bring it down the whole time.
That's true.
Yeah, I like the idea like maybe somehow.
Like I am rushing in the end to
Yeah.
really cool
I
it down.
think narratively
I
that's-
hear it piercing the sound.
But maybe somehow
and
what you did saves the people who are offshore. Like it keeps.
Oh yeah.
Like it keeps the bats from going to them because the permafrost is near. Like you're bringing the permafrost, so it's regulating the temperature near-ish them. So when that steam explodes, it doesn't go toward them, so the bats don't go toward them.
I have an idea. What
Yeah,
if you
hit
were
me.
what if you were releasing the permafrost around the island to try and cool it?
Yeah.
And that's what you're in the process of doing as the whole thing collapses, and that way you're keeping them safe.
Yeah, I like the idea. Like you somehow became a hero.
Yeah,
You
some
accomplished
way.
your goal. You brought down Icarus. Like kind of helped literally, but like the people still like
They saw you as a hero. In the
they
end.
saw you as a
Creating
hero,
these
and maybe you're like
icebergs
ridden with
almost
guilt
around. Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
fact.
And I
that
have
they're
to
like,
live with that
You have to
guilt.
live with that guilt.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's so cool about that too is that we get this really beautiful image of. Do you know what imagine what a lake looks like when it freezes over, right? And you can see the water underneath.
Yeah.
So this permafrost permanently freezes this area, right? So we have this beautiful spot where there are these rocks jutting out, surrounded in ice with a boiling core.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. What a good.
That's-
Yeah.
And I'm just looking yonder, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
like, I caused all this. Everybody's cheering for me. for
Yeah.
that I saved. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you for saving.
Yeah, I
my
like
child.
the idea of like you're
And
the
then I'm
hero,
just
but
like-
that's just like ridden with guilt. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. That feels satisfying.
Okay, I think
Did
that
you survive?
Cascade. Yeah, because my goal is to protect the leaders, and as we saw this all happening, I think that they have an escape boat ready
definitely.
to go.
Didn't
Or
have
in a
these
submarine or
They had
something.
these
Yeah.
like little refuge places, so I'm sure they.
Right. And so I think we're as we know this place is falling apart, I'm like running with them, protecting them, taking them to this like yacht, kind of this giant glass yacht that is sitting off the shore in like one of the caves.
Yeah.
And as the whole thing is collapsing, I'm like, get in the boat, and we're running, and the cave is collapsing around us, and then the ice is freezing in front of us, and so as we get in the boat, like, we have to break through this ice, so we emerge, using steam, out of this cave as the whole island is collapsing, and just hit ice, and our boat, like, skids and slides across the top of the ice, and then cracks it, and I'm like, where'd all this ice come from? And we're like pushing through it, and then we direct the steam down into the water to melt it and push through it. And as that happens, the center of the island collapses and pushes this wave of ice and water towards us that just like sends the boat on, like we're being, there's a wave that's pushing us out, and we're headed towards the northwest because we don't know that they were the ones trying to bring us down.
Right.
So we're headed that direction. The leaders are going to try.
You still think
and,
they're allies?
We still think they're allies. I mean, they didn't like our religion, but we think we convinced them.
Yeah.
We thought we did good PR, so we're like headed that direction to try and. They're our last hope to sort of bring the two sisters.
I think those celebrities died.
Oh yeah, they
when
all
you
died.
kept in quarantine.
You know what? Maybe they don't go there. Maybe we just sail.
Yeah, maybe you do.
Maybe
and then
we
there is
just
no
sail.
tide. There's no lower
There is no
high
tide.
There's no low tide. There's no high tide. You just kind of.
There's no more tides.
Yeah,
no
there's
tides.
no
Because
more
it's
tides,
frozen.
and the sisters have to stop warring. Yeah, they have to live. We have to live together on the boat.
I liked also the idea that there's two
that's
boiling
cool.
waters because it's like the two sisters.
Oh, now it's Now it's the boiling sisters, or like the.
Oh, they're just called the boiling sisters now.
Yeah, the boiling.
The boiling sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's great.
Okay, our last question is what became of the civilization after its fall? We sort of talked about that, right? We're just left with this this image of the boiling sisters surrounded in ice.
Yeah.
It almost becomes like a wonder of the world.
Yeah.
Like just this frozen.
And it was once the place of such prestige and renowned, and was the place that everybody went to trade their goods.
Yeah.
And now it's left as nothing but.
It'd be interesting too if all that ice with the boiling, that alone together also helped regulate the whole underground volcano system.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because the ice is helping help release the boil.
Yeah.
Like maybe there is some steam, but it's like because of the boil and the ice, and it regulates the whole like system.
You know what? You know what happens on the inside shelf of that ice? This algae starts to grow because that it's the right temperature.
It's the right temperature.
And so that becomes like the new center of food. It's where it's where the northwest.
Yeah, northwest.
Yeah.
Northwest and the southeast come to get their food.
That's great.
Is the remains of Icarus.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Yeah,
That is our game.
Yeah, that's great. Oh man, I love this. I would like to play this again, but not tonight. Like another, this is fun.
It's like 12:30 in the morning. I know. I'm so sad. All of the dice didn't fall.
I know.
Blame Spencer for Ruby being late.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It is 43 degrees.
Yeah.
Right now.
Is it 43 degrees?
Yeah, it's
43
freezing.
So I went to set it on top, and my hands were shaking, and then I just dropped it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, was that on purpose? I'm like, no, Spencer wouldn't do that on purpose.
I tried to like drop it on top, but my fingers were shaking because I'm so cold.
Yeah.
And it just dropped and hit the top, and it was But that's how the game goes.
Yeah.
We had somebody get up from a table, bump the table, and the whole thing fell.
That's so sad.
Well, that
That's
sounds
the way the game goes.
That's like natural disaster. That's just like, and our earthquake hit.
I love that these bats were like just spiral,
they were just like a looming threat, but they never manifested.
The narrative never really brought them in.
Yeah, they were just this legendary creature that like.
Yeah, they were the horsemen of the apocalypse because they did show up.
They did show up. Yeah, they never really attacked. They just kind of circled around, and that was it. Yeah.
Sad.
Oh, I kind of want to what happens to the bats after we
just
had the
die.
balance with the food?
Well, definitely as the heat hits the ice, it steams.
Yeah, so maybe they're around and people it's a thing.
Well,
like
where do
people
they
go to
land?
get the food, but it's a dangerous trek. Like so that becomes like a new industry or something. To go get the food that everyone
But where are
needs.
the bats living now? There's no.
Well, they live in the steam. There's still steam.
Yeah.
Or there's just around. Like maybe
underground.
it's like around.
Yeah, we don't know. They're
That's
legendary
next time.
creatures.
Yeah. Maybe maybe they only show up when there's a certain amount of steam or something. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching.
awesome.
If you've made it all the way through, thank you. This is a long episode,
Yes.
but I'm so glad that you stayed. Thank you guys for playing so much.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
It was awesome.
Icarus goes up on Kickstarter today, the day you're seeing this. So you can go back it. It is $5. I think we set it on $5 for the digital, $35 for the physical. It will come with custom die. These are not custom die because we haven't made them. They're in production right now. They haven't been shipped yet. So it will come with custom die. It will come with a deck. It will come with a book, and then a pad. Actually, I think I have it. It's somewhere in here, but it comes with a pad of aspect notes, so you aren't just using sticky notes. It's like an actual pad of stuff that says aspect on it. So,
but
anyway,
if you're using the digital version, you're gonna go get sticky notes.
yeah, you're gonna have to go get sticky notes. Life's so hard.
And the Kickstarter is gonna have. Is it gonna have that thing that we worked on?
Oh yeah, it'll have a video that we've worked on.
Yeah.
And so you can go check out. The video that we made there. And then also there are, for higher tier pledges, I will be running games for people.
Oh.
At some of the cons that are happening. So if you want to have a game that I play in, and some of maybe another special guest, you can back at a higher level, and I will come and run a game for you individually. So thank you so much. It is very late, so we're gonna go to bed. But we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.